All right, what's up, guys? Oh, let me make sure my audio's correct. There we go. We are good. All right, what's up, everybody? We got another Thursday night live stream here. I think last week I had the week off because I was at Evernorth last Thursday. So we're getting back to it this week. We've got a lot of whiskey to cover tonight. Lots of new-ish bottles. I mean, I'm like a week late. You know, a lot of people were doing live streams about these bottles last week. But I did end up with the old Fitz 7-year, which we're going to talk about tonight. We've got the Star Hill Farm. These are all going to be kind of first impressions. These are not official reviews or anything like that. All these bottles are going to go into the blind sample pool that I've got, and then they'll get pulled out there. And if they don't get pulled out there, I might just do like an unblind review of them in a video. But we've got those two. We've got the brand new 10 years from New Riff, both a bourbon and a rye at 120.5 proof. Penelope weeded. I'm very late on this one. Not a big Penelope person, to be honest, but I saw this. I'm like, you know what? Let's pick it up. And because I was on a weeded kick, I ended up grabbing the preservation weeded as well. So those are very different profiles. We'll talk about both of those. A weird one that I didn't expect, Calumet Farm rye. A single barrel that folks have been talking about. A C. Dully 15-year Heaven Hill from Must Have Malts over in Europe. And then a fun little bottled and bond 11-year confirmed pick from 1792, plus a giveaway tonight. So we're gonna have a lot of fun this evening. Please do hit the like button on your way, and let's get a few more folks hanging out tonight. And let me know what you guys are sipping on. We'll talk about the giveaway here in just a second. I'm excited for my first sip this evening. This is, I mean, it's standard operating procedure at this point, right? So we got to start with an Eagle Rare pick. However, when I was at Evernorth, Jeremy, who's in the also known as Slad, who is in the Patreon and the Discord, he brought this bottle, which he has many backups of, maybe a few less backups, you know, since it released. But he ended up with a lot of these, and it is an incredible Eagle Rare store pick. So I'll talk about it here in just a second. Let me get some poured out. But I told him, I'm like, all right, man, this is the new Eagle Rare store pick to start the streams. So he gave me the other half of his bottle, which is amazing. So thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. Gosh, got a little, well, I don't want to say that. I was going to say, I got a little feta cheese in my throat, but that sounds kind of weird. On a little bit of a health kick, again, going back to the gym, running, getting my steps in, counting my macros, my calories, all the good stuff. Except for tonight, we're gonna have a lot of empty calories of whiskey, but hopefully I don't get tipsy faster because of that. Although that's probably gonna end up happening. But I've got a little feta in my throat from dinner tonight. Slad, enjoy that Eagle Rare, little bro. Thanks, man. All right, cheers, guys. I'm not just gonna shoot this down. I actually wanna give this a little sniff. Yeah, this Eagle Rare pick just has so much oak. It's like unusually oaky for what it is. Oh, man. All right, let me catch up with the chat here in a second. Yeah, I don't understand. It's so different than any other Eagle Rare pick I've ever had. It's from Super Fine Wine and Liquor, barrel 33. Very good stuff. What's up, Travis? Oh, yeah, I want to hear about what's next. What is next? What do you mean, Travis? Good to see you, man. Joe D says, what's that whiskey? New episode came out today. It's not doing well. Sometimes What's That Whiskey does really well. Sometimes it does not do well at all. So tonight was one of those episodes. Maybe it's because I didn't drop it on a Wednesday, although I don't think people expect those on Wednesdays yet. It's not been consistent enough for that to be an expectation. But some interesting pours in that episode that Brett sent me. So check that out if you haven't. Bobby H, what's up, man? Happy stream day. Happy Friday Eve. There we go. Friday Eve. Lawrence, I was still eating. What I didn't realize is that when you're just eating ground beef patties and rice with a little feta cheese and pickles, you got to gum that shit down. It's real chewy. You got to just... I think I started eating at 8:30. Or maybe I started heating my food up at 8:30. But, man, I was fighting that stuff, you know? All right, good to see you, John. Two Johns, John Martino, John Eady. Austin's in here. David King. Good to see you, guy. With some Cafe Cadence this evening. It's like the best starter pour of all time, in my opinion. I love that profile to kick things off. Slad with a little throwback. All right, good to see you, Mike. What's everyone's favorite pour this year? I think mine so far is probably... I mean, it's probably Calumet 18. It's probably Calumet Farm 18. And also, I mean, listen... I really, really like this stuff. The Nashville Blom Brothers collab. 10-year hazmat rye. I really like this stuff. I mean, Dan Shook, I gave it to him at Evernorth. He poo-pooed this. You know, I think Sean did too. No, this stuff is ridiculously good. All right, I'm going to keep scrolling. I see a lot of people in here. Sam, Sean, Nick, Kyle, Justin, thanks for stopping by, guys. Andy, thanks for hanging out. Jeremy says cowabunga. There you go. That's a good word, man. Cowabunga. Cafe Cadence in the glass for James. Sam, I'm a big fan of What's That Whiskey? Nick, got to see you dominate the guesses. Yeah, definitely didn't do that this week. Listen, I've been accused... more than ever in the last 2 weeks of faking my videos than ever before. It's just been constant comments and like, oh, you're full of crap, you know, you're cheating in your videos. I'm like, man, I wish I had the foresight, the wherewithal, the time, and the care to cheat in those. But it's okay. It's okay. Brandon, I'm done editing pours and pars. Want me to work on the pick film? If you want, man, I mean, I still haven't gone through the footage. I just need to go through and I just want to see how it turned out before I even think about editing it. I mean, I'd love to see what you do with it. I just feel bad if you having you work on it, you know, because it wasn't really part of the deal. But yeah, if you want to, if you want to, you have the footage. You know, I can't say no, and I'm excited to get it edited and everything. But you know how I am. I'm so far behind on stuff. Bongo Wood Whiskey of the Year, says David. Listen, it's up there. Like, honest to God, it's up there. But yeah, just like, you know, probably have to heavily edit some things out of the video. Jack 14 seemed to be up there, says Chris. Yeah, Jack 14 for me because it's been like flip-floppy between the two different experiences I've had with it. I'm not ready to say yet that it's like my favorite so far. Right now, my favorite so far is Calumet Farm 18. But Jack, like in an end-of-the-year blind, could absolutely take it. But for me, considering unblind and blind and like all tastings of things, I would say Calumet is over Jack, even though I think I gave Jack 1 point advantage in my ratings, whatever that means. Alrighty, well, let's get into it, guys. So here's the deal. Tonight, I'm going to be going through all the things that I already talked about, all the things you saw in the thumbnail. I do have a blind flight. I can't remember who sent this to me. I remember talking about it recently, I don't know if it was James or Brant or who sent this. This is the unconfirmed sources blind. Sample A through D, cards included, is what it says. And it looks like there's like, if I hold this up to the light, it looks like there's cards in here. And then I've got these other cards, which might be actually for a different blind. Well, let's see here. I'm going to try not to see any answers. Okay. So these are cards. They do have answers on them. So I've got them upside down right now, but you wouldn't be able to read them. So if I do this blind tonight, you're probably not going to be able to see what they are. I can try to hold it up. Actually, let me know this, guys. If I hold this up, let me know if you can read this. And I don't know if it's going to be upside down or not, because I can't look at it. So let me turn my head. Can you read this? And or is it upside down? I forgot to have Sarah look through these and make our own note cards. So a blind flight tonight might be a wash. I might just do a couple of blind samples that I've got and my blind sample stash behind me. So let me know if you can read this. Okay. Can't read it upside down. Okay. So what about this way? Is that right side up? And can you read it? All right. I'm going to put it down now. Too small. Okay. All right. So maybe we have to punt on that. Sure why I started playing on my phone. Maybe we have to punt on that. All right, so let's get into everything. I'll have to edit the thumbnail. No blind. Let's start with the Penelope Weeded here. Jeez, guys, words hurt. And let me know who sent that. If you're hanging out tonight, I got to go back through and look through my Discord messages. I had like 4 or 5 blind flights come in at one time, and I remember talking to somebody about that, and I just can't remember who it was, because I got one from Marshall at the same time and a couple other people. Oh, wow, that smells really nice. Penelope Weeded, 35 or 40 bucks, I think, SRP. Wow. What's up, Jason Zell? Let me know if you guys have had this Penelope. Listen, I'm not a big Penelope person. I liked a lot of their, like when they first came out, I thought the branding was great. The barrel strength got to a point where I felt like they were putting out all these batches. They were all kind of similar. What else? The light whiskey, I'm not a big light whiskey person. I know a lot of people like that stuff. I did try the 9-year private select or whatever it was. I didn't like the 9-year, but the 10-year I thought was nice, even though they were single barrels. And then the wheated popped up, or the wheat whiskey, I think is what it was, popped up in a blind a few weeks ago. Good, but I don't think worth the price tag for what it is. So, all right, let's get into this 95 proof Penelope Weeded. Rizzle D, thoughts on Buckner's 15? Oh, man, ADHD kicking in. All right, I got 2 Buckner's 15s here. So we are giving away Buckner's 15s tonight, guys. One of each of our picks. Every $5 super chat gets you an entry. We'll run the randomizer at the end of the stream. You can also do PayPal or Venmo. If you want to help me out a little bit more, YouTube won't take a 30% cut of that. They will take a 30% cut of all the super chats. You can send that to me, PayPal, Venmo. Those are in the description of the video. Or super chats count as well. But tonight, we're going to give away one of each Buckner's. I'm very behind on packages right now. I'm working on getting them all packed up. That's what I was doing before this. So these will go out probably like next week. They'll be at the end of the line. But I feel bad, but I said that the next stream we were doing a Buckner's giveaway. So we're doing it. So we've got Sugar Daddy, 127.2 proof. And we got Spicy Gal, 137.2 proof. So 127, 137. We're giving one of each away tonight. Top 2 winners. They're also going to come with a sample of the other one, so you can do a side-by-side comparison. And then we'll have a 3rd place winner who's going to win a sample pack of tonight's pours. And then I'll throw in a couple of bangers as well. So I'll put probably most of what you see on the table I'll throw in there. Not the Eagle Rare, maybe not the 1792, we'll see. But it'll be tonight's pours plus a couple of bangers. So there you go. That's the giveaway. I'll I'll remind everybody as we go through this. All right, let's go to this Penelope real quick. So I always have a problem with MGP wheated bourbons. I just think they always smell young. You can give me a 9-year MGP wheated bourbon. You can give me a Boone County pick that's like between 6 to 9 years old. I just think it has this sugary, sweet, but young vanilla, buttercream, grain note. It's kind of yeasty as well. I've just never found that those wheated products do it for me for whatever reason. But this Penelope, I think it's because it's watered down to 95 proof. It doesn't really have any of that note that I don't like in these wheaters. Like, this is sweet. I mean, like honey. It's like honey and golden raisin sweet on the nose. Damn, this is like serious business for a $35 bottle. Yeah, okay. I mean, it drinks 95 proof. You know, it's really easy going, and it's wheated, so it's even easier going. I love this stuff. Holy crap. This is the summer of 2025 whiskey for me right now. I mean, we've been doing a lot of low proof barrel picks for that very reason. Like, I tried to schedule things out and get these lower proof picks going in the summer because I felt like, you know, it's nice to have 130 proof barrel picks all the time, but it's also nice to have 105 and 110 proof barrel picks, especially in the summertime. So as far as like 95 proof stuff goes, dude, this is a session whiskey all the way. You could just crush this stuff. Reminds me, I mean, I know it's MGP, but it has like it does the same thing for me that Buffalo Trace does for me. You know, it's sweet, easygoing. Tony said, "Oh, it's a 4-grain. Is it really? Does it say that on here?" No, but I wonder what the proportions are. Oh man, I see a lot of super chats coming in. Thank you guys. Penelope, let's look it up. Penelope wheated mash bill. Oh, yeah. Okay, so 74 corn, 16 wheat, 7 rye, and 3 barley. I'll tell you this. I think Penelope... Is it Danny from Penelope that's doing the blending? Penelope blending is some of the best blending, in my opinion. I think somehow they're just really good at putting things together. I just don't feel like I get a lot of Penelope products that wow me, necessarily. But they've got a 17-year rye coming out, which... that's going to be pretty cool. And I saw they have the cigar cask, or the cigar blend thing, but I think that's probably got a lot of light whiskey in it, if not exclusively light whiskey. And if that's the case, that's probably not going to be my profile. But dude, this is nice. What do you guys think about this, if you've tried it? Austin, thanks for the super chat, man. All right, I got to start getting these entries in here. Whiskey Rambler, and for 2, thanks, man. Oh, with a merch link. Hey, dude, I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, if you want some merch, we do have merch. Still pretty limited, but I need to hire a designer to kind of make a couple of cool things. I got a couple ideas. I just got here. Can't wait to give you my money. Let's go. Let's get it. Thanks, man. That's funny. And glassware too. Dude, another super chat for glassware. Let me just put you down for 4. All right, 4 entries. Awesome. Thanks, man. What do you think about the Buckners? I'll taste them here in a little bit. I think we got some good barrels, but it's just like any buff turkey. There are a lot of less than stellar barrels, and that's not because Augusta doesn't know what they're doing. It's because everybody got this very wide-ranging mix of quality when it comes to their barrels of the buff turkey stuff. Even the stuff that we went down and picked for River Roots. Like, I was on all the trips that we went down, that they went down and picked. I was with them, and we went through, 25 barrels each time to come away with like 6 or 8 or something like that. And even after that, getting them back to River Roots and going through them, some of them it's like, yeah, these are good. They're not amazing. And some of them I thought were really, really good. There's just a wide range of quality between them. So my advice always on buff turkey is, if you don't know the person picking it, or if it's just like a random single barrel, not just Buckners, but any buff turkey, I just say pass. Someone else is going to buy it, and I think you should always wait for a palate that you trust, whether it's a blogger or Instagrammer or TikToker or YouTuber or whoever. That's who you should go with. All right. Let's keep going. Dude, awesome. Another one, dude. Austin, I got that. Oh, we've got another giveaway prize, guys. It's going to be one of these 11-year 1792 bottled and bond picks. I forgot Austin offered that up. Thanks, man. Thank you for the reminder. So he's super chatting to tell me that, to give something away. That's awesome, dude. How do you feel about them calling it wheated? I think it's fine. I think it's fine. If it's 4 grain and it's still got wheat in it, I think it's fine. But it does make sense to me why maybe there's less of that youthful wheat thing that I'm not a fan of from MGP wheaters. Maybe it's because there's a little bit of rye in there to kind of counteract it. But it has the softness of a wheater. And some of that rye spice does hit you up front. It trails off fairly quickly into the mid palate, but I think it's nice because it does kind of get your attention at the start of the sip before it becomes super crushable. I think this is a great product. This is like the best, probably the best new shelf product I can think of. You know, I think this would probably take the cake on that. All right, Lofty says 2 entries. Thank you. Get you in here. Appreciate it. Chris Alexander, what's up, man? And it's only 1% different. Is it really? Than the white 4-grain bottle? Huh. Wow. I wonder what else is at play there, like floors and warehouses and stuff like that. Barrel blend. What's up, Jeb? Barrel. Listen, I'm very critical of Barrel, just as a brand, maybe. And yeah, I mean, you could be critical of anybody, but I just have never found the entirety of the brand of Barrel to be super compelling. But they are also probably some of the best blenders in the game. They can make surgical academic whiskeys, I think is like the best way to put it. They are the most academic. Them and I feel like some Old Carter can be pretty academic too. Like when you taste it, you're like, huh, I feel like I need to write a paper about this, you know? I think some of those whiskeys from Barrel are the most academic I've tasted. Guy sent me a sample of the F Cancer bottle 3.0, and that was not cooking. I was not a fan of that. Love the Penelope wheated, especially at the price point. Agree. Guessing I only missed about 2 minutes. Yeah, Matt, you're pretty much right. Jeremy says 100% American single malt and American light was single malt in there too, huh? Actually, that I would be curious to try that combination of things. I'm not a huge fan of anything high malt from MGP. I think the malt that they use, for some reason, it gets this really weird note. And I love single malt, but it's like when you have the 5149 mash bills that they do, I just don't enjoy those. I think the malt adds this weird note. Adam loves a new wheated, great price, easy sipper, nothing crazy, just solid. It's totally solid. I know you're not a Maker's guy. Have you had the Keepers? I have not had the Keepers. I see it on the shelf frequently now. I've been going into the stores a lot more the last couple of days, and I've seen it everywhere. All right, guys, let's keep moving. We're going to dive right into we're going to go, we went off the wheated. We're going to go wheated again. We're going to go Old Fitz here. We'll do the Old Fitz in a Drums and Drams glass. Okay. What's the mash? I think this is 68 corn, 20 wheat, 12 barley. Should be the same mash as Larceny, I think. Okay, so Old Fitz 7, 100 proof, bottled and bond. You guys have probably seen reviews of this already, and you probably know the whole spiel. $60 bottle. Some of them come with bags. Should be shelf stable at some point, but probably not right now. People are probably overcharging the crap out of it right now. Rizzle D says, "What's the deal with those? Are only the store picks Buff Turkey for Buckners? No, they're all the 15 years coming out right now are Buff Turkey from Buckners. Yeah, except for the early ones. Like everybody's saying, oh, it's the first 10 barrels or so. Yeah, they came out with the 15-year a few years ago when they had Barton, and then they released those. 15-year kind of went off the market for a while. Now it came back with all the Buff Turkey stuff. So to my knowledge, everything you're seeing coming out of Buckner's right now that has a 15-year age statement on it is buff turkey. I do not believe any of that's Barton, at least right now. That could and probably will change in the future, but I don't know. 17-year American Light is so tasty. Not whiskey of the year, but I just love drinking on it. I just don't like light whiskey. Love the new weeded. Great price. Oh, that's what Adam said. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Anderson, thank you for the super chat. Stoked for my cafe cadence to get here. Hopefully my glass ships soon. Yeah, the glasses, when he makes those glasses, he's making a bunch of glasses. So I think usually timing's pretty good, but if there's any delay, I don't think there's a problem. I just think, be a little more patient. And, this is it's a labor of love, I'm sure, to make as many glasses as are being made for, everybody that runs through Barrel Raised. Thank you for the super chat, man. Okay. I'm going to pull up the Penelope as like a side-by-side, even though it has a little rye to it. Wow. So the Old Fitz, to me, it's interesting. It kind of reminds me, actually, for any Drums and Drams Patreon members that are in here tonight, it kind of reminds me of Cafe Cadence in a way. Like, it has a very similar kind of softness and sweetness to it, but it's just not as concentrated. It's definitely a lighter profile. I mean, the color on this, it's a light color for sure. It almost reminds me of something that's been aged possibly in like a low part of the rickhouse. So there's like a sugar cookie kind of sweetness to it. There's not really a whole lot of nuttiness. I mean, you could convince me there's a teeny bit, but it's not your traditional Heaven Hill kind of profile, which I like. I'm a fan of this right now so far. But it does feel kind of like thin or anemic on the nose. Like there's not like a groundswell of sweetness and flavor coming out. It's very just like it's like the top note. It's very top heavy and yeah, like there's no support to it. Does that make sense? On the nose, I don't find a ton of fruit. And maybe that'll change after I go to the palate, but I just find more of just like a straight up sugar cookie kind of sweetness. Almost a little bit of that funnel cake kind of thing. Powdered sugar, And it does have some spice to it, even though it's a weeder. It's not very aromatic spice. It's just kind of generic, barrel spice, white pepper. It's not heavy and rich spice. Yeah, I think that's good. Coming back to the nose now, a little Cracker Jack note, just a teeny bit. I still don't find a lot of fruit on this, though. Is anybody else in here that's tried the Old Fitz 7? Do you find fruit on this? Yeah, to me, it's just more like straight up vanilla funnel cake, sugar cookie, light bourbon sweetness, just kind of all around, with a little bit more spice on the front end than you might expect, and less nuttiness than you would expect from a Heaven Hill product of this age. All right, Benjamin Arrington. Let me get you in here, man. Thank you for the super chat. And for 2, I'll get the Venmos. I'll get it, Justin. I appreciate it, man. How does it compare to the old... okay, yeah. So the Old Fitz next to the Penelope. The Penelope actually has a darker profile, interestingly. I wouldn't have expected that. And it has more fruit to me. Not as punchy. There's a 5 proof point difference. On the nose, it feels more like a 7 to 10 proof point difference the way that they're smelling. Like the Old Fitz has definitely more presence. Yeah, and the palate for sure. They drink and smell further apart than just 5 proof points. But I really like the profile of the Penelope. I'm torn on the Old Fitz. I think I do like it. I just think the price is too high. I think $60. I don't know. I mean, in today's market, $60 is Not the worst thing in the world. But it's 7 years old. Yeah, it's got fancy glass. It's got the old Fitz name. I feel like this is like a $45 bottle. And $15 might not sound like a major difference, but percentage-wise, that's a major difference. That's 25% of the current cost, you know? Travis says they can hide Dickel in the best way. I think he's talking about barrel. Oh, I'm 8 minutes behind. Okay. Andy, thank you for the super chat, man. Got you in here. In for 4. Says, cheers and good luck to everyone tonight in the giveaway. I hope it's a great stream, but gotta head out. All right, man. Well, thank you for the super chat before you took off. Noah, is Calumet 18 comparable to Heaven Hill 17? I don't have a Heaven Hill 17 right now. Actually, it should have another one should get here tomorrow. That's a long story. But another one should be getting here tomorrow. In theory, or like in my memory right now, no, there's not a comparison. In practice, that could be different, though. But I just think the profiles are pretty darn different. Jeremy, what's up, man? Thank you for the super chat. In for 2. Says, I can confirm blending is an art. Mad props to those who can do it well. Yes. There's a lot that can go wrong. Look forward to the old Fitz being a shelf staple. What were the Buckner 17 sources? Barton, 7418-8, as far as I know. There was some confusion on that, though, early on. People were saying that the Buckner 17 was Heaven Hill. I never thought it tasted like Heaven Hill, though. Mike B, I got you in for 1. Cheers, Cam. Hat in the ring. Best thing this year so far is the Woodford Chocolate Whisper Redux. I'm excited to get to that either in my blind sample pool or just shooting a video or comparing it to other things to see how it does. I'm sure it'll stand out like a sore thumb when it's next to other whiskeys, but even so, I really liked it first go around. Anthony, thank you for the super chat. I love the last name, Anthony Allegro. Love the channel. Not a light whiskey fan either. We picked one. Like, I picked an 80-bottle short barrel of 20-year light whiskey. I went through 10 different barrels to check them out. And I feel like I landed on a good one, but I'm just not somebody that ever seeks out light whiskey. But I know that a lot of people on our Patreon like that stuff, so it was one of those kind of situations. All right. So, anything else about Old Fitz in the chat here? Sounds like a great everyday sipper if it truly is shelf stable. I agree, but I think $60 is just too much. Even like everyday sipper, to me, I mean, for me, I know I spend too much money on whiskey. Everyday sipper is very relative to the person that you're talking to, but just trying to think broadly, I feel like everyday sipper price to me, because of the last 5 years of prices going up, I'm probably in like that 40 to 50 range. Like $45 is like everyday sipper territory. I feel like that's where this belongs. $45. And what is the 7-year bottled and bond bourbon? Is that 50? Heaven Hill bottled and bond price. What is the... And that's 7 years stated, I think, as well. Looks to be about 50 online. OHLQ, yep, 50. I think it should be the same price. I know the appeal of the Old Fitz name. I get it. And this is, in my opinion, better than the traditional bottled and bond. I think the regular bottled and bond's not great. But I think it should be $50 if that. Ed. Oh, is this from like Venmo or something? Bringing bourbon prices down, supporting smaller thanks, man. Did you copy and paste something into the chat? I'm confused. Travis, I adore the 5145 for rye from MGP. I agree. I think that's a great mash bill. But that 45 is corn, not barley. Jesse, I agree 100% on MGP alternative mash bills. The 2136 bourbon, both ryes are great. 5149 bourbon, weeded, and all the rest are just weird in a bad way. I'm pretty much with you all the way. Old Fitz 7, the bottle you'll never reach for, says Jeb. That's hilarious. Rustin 22. All right, let's move on from the Old Fitz. We might revisit it, but I'm going to move on from it now. Where are we going to go next? Probably the Star Hill Farm, huh? Now let's do another bottled and bond. Let's go to this 1792. This is going to be fun because we are giving one of these away tonight. This will be the third prize. No, this will be the fourth prize tonight because we're doing a Buckner's each. So one Buckner Spicy Gal, one Sugar Daddy. Then we're going to do a sample pack, and then number 4 is going to be this 1792 bottled and bond that Austin is donating for tonight's giveaway. This has a kind of a cool story. Rustin, excited to see what you think of Star Hill. Only seen great reviews so far. So I'm worried about that because I am not a maker's person. Now, I know it's a wheat whiskey and not a wheated bourbon, but I am nervous to be the dissenting opinion. Although if I am the dissenting opinion, I will explicitly say, like, hey, don't listen to me on this. If you're a maker's person, don't listen to me on this. Slad says $45 glass bottle or $45 liquid inside of it. I think that, yeah, liquid is $45 inside of it. So yeah, I guess if the glass bottle costs $15, then the price is right, huh? Have you reviewed any Detling? No, I haven't. Detling it's a very specific profile, and if I know that a profile is just not really for me, there's no reason for me to go online and say bad things about it. All right, I got some Venmos coming in here. Damn, dude, the nose on this 1792 after coming off of, you know, another 100 proof wheater, which now smells way sweeter coming off, you know, going back and forth. Now the Old Fitz smells way sweeter. Again, I don't get that much fruit. I've heard people say they get fruit on this Old Fitz. The idea of light fruit being in there would make sense to me, but you'd have to tell me what light fruit that is because I can't smell it or taste it. Like, if you say there's peach, I'll believe you, but I don't. If you say there's strawberry, I might believe you, but I'm not getting it. But then go into this bottled and bond pick. This is an 11-year Sazerac bottled and bond 1792 pick. So let me pull up this message from Austin, Whiskey Rambler. Here we go. So I'm scrolling back in our conversation. It says, so this is a Barton employee bottled and bond single barrel pick. So it was for the employees of Barton, but not enough of them grabbed it, so they went out to the public. I think they were $40 for this. And then he sent me the confirmation here from the barrel and the confirmation from the distillery in an email that this is in fact 11 years old, char 4, 6-month stave seasoning, rye mash bourbon, independent stave company. So yeah, 100 proof, 11-year Barton for like $40. And it's got that like kind of blueberry pie thing that you start to get on older Barton. Yeah, it's like that blueberry blackberry pie combination. And realistically, like, I would expect banana on this, and I'm not really getting any banana. This is a very dark, I mean, honestly, the whiskey color too, at this proof point, I would not expect it to be this dark. It smells great. Yeah, and great vanilla on the front of the palate too. It's like a combination of blueberry and blackberry pie for me, with like whipped cream on the top or something. Yeah, very good. It kind of falls away quickly, but you kind of expect that. 100 proof bottled and bond. It's not a scorcher. I'll wait till they drop the $10 green pouch on the Old Fitz. That's funny. Yeah, same. I still remember the old green label bottle, says Sean, bottled and bond. It was like 15 to 20, solid for bottom shelf. Yeah, man, the old 6-year Heaven Hill bottled and bond was so much better than the current bottled and bond, and I may even prefer the old 6-year bottled and bond to this Old Fitz. And that, yeah, again, it was like, what, $20 or something? Ben, thank you for the super chat. Ben in for 2 says, what do you think on comparing the new Bullet bottled and bond to the old Fitz 7? Man, those are real different profiles. That Bullet to me, and my Bullet is in the basement, so I don't want to run down and grab it right now, but I'm trying to think if there's a video there. Like if that would be a good video. Is there any other like 7-year bottled and bond you could throw in the mix from a different distillery? I think Old Granddad's coming out with a 7-year bottled and bond, age stated. So maybe those 3, the Bullet, the Old Fitz, and the Old Granddad. So you're dealing with like high rye, wheated, and then the Bullet is kind of standard. No, Adam, you haven't missed the new Riff. Dude, we're 40 minutes in. We've done 1 whiskey. You know how it goes. Whiskey Habit. If a different brand was found out to be Heaven Hill 10-year, 125 proof, people would go crazy. And in the same sentence, bash ECB. Listen, I don't disagree with that sentiment. The problem is, I think the problem is the reputation that Elijah Craig Barrel Proof built for itself over the last, 10 or so years. They're not living up to that reputation. That's the problem. It's like, this is what I've said. I think from 2021 until now, you've had a couple of serviceable batches in there, and then one really good one, which is C923. Other than that, none of those Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs deserve to bear the name Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. I think they should be relabeled, and they should have been put into a new line that was called Heaven Hill Barrel Proof or Heaven Hill Cask Strength. And I think, and maybe you age state that 10 years. It's like a 10-year cask strength product or something. But I just don't think any of the new ECBPs are worthy of the name ECBP. I think they should go under a separate brand. So like yes and no, like there are Heaven Hill barrels popping up on the NDP market right now. People are scooping them up and selling them at well above what Heaven Hill would sell those barrels for, and that's just because the barrel cost is what it is. And are those barrels always as good as the cost for the bottles are compared to what you would get from Heaven Hill? No. But they're single barrels, and so there's a uniqueness factor there too. So I think it's all kind of messy at this point. But I think 2 things can be true. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof can largely suck these days, and also we can still appreciate a single barrel of 10-year 125 proof Heaven Hill coming from an NDP $30 over the price that we should pay for it realistically from Heaven Hill. I think both of those things can be true, even if they don't logically square with each other 100%. Jason P., thank you for the super chat. In for 4 says cheers. Cheers right back. Okay. Wild Turkey 8-year 101, perfect price. That could actually go in that blind too. 1 proof point, 1 year older. That could totally go in that blind. All right, I'm 10 minutes behind. I'm going to keep scrolling, guys. Awesome. I just read your comment. Come on. John Martino. Okay, I'm getting caught up in the chat here. John Martino. We got so much whiskey to taste. I need to hurry the heck up. In for 2. Thank you, John. Well, Slad, the Venmo's in the description. I don't know what it is. I think it's Drums and Drams. I wonder if they're saying they're getting fruit because it's a wheated bourbon. Maybe. But I just don't see it, Lito. Also, good to see you, man. Like maybe in the background, but to me, if you wanna say like, what would you say if I said peach and strawberry? You could convince me of. If you said like strawberry shortcake, for instance, I'm getting a lot more of the shortcake and a lot less of the strawberry. God, Frankie, I'll put that on the screen. Why not? It's almost 10 o'clock. It's almost after dark. Terry Powers, oh my God, a chance for a Drums and Drams buck. Thanks, Terry. Hope you're doing well, man. It's Terry time. There we go. They've ruined McKenna too, says Space Ghost. I largely agree with that too. Just the quality of Heaven Hill. Again, they're stratifying their portfolio. They're blowing it out into all these other premium brands and putting their better whiskey at these higher price points and stuff that we'll never see unless we go to the distillery. Although, I tell you what, William Heaven Hill, what is it, 19 years at like 134 proof or 136 proof? Whatever that is, I would wait in line for that bottle. Because secondary is going to be like 2,000, you know? Jimmy 70th at 58 was great, says Jeb. Yeah, I think that was I think that deserved a little bump in the price. It is going to be the Flipper's Wet Dream. And it's pretty limited. It sounded like they didn't use a lot of barrels in the blend there. So yeah, this bottled and bond is great. It's cool that an employee-only bottle made it out to a store in Kentucky. So I think whoever ends up winning this in the giveaway, you have a very, very crushable but decently aged product that has good oak presence, good sweetness to it, but not enough proof to blow your brain. I can't even talk. Blow your brains out. It's a $40 just crushable, delicious whiskey. I'm tired, guys. It's been a long day. Okay. So I think I'm caught up on all the super chats in here, so I can start doing these Venmos now. Real quick, we've got a lot of new people jumping in the Patreon, and I cannot say thank you enough. I think a lot of people today jumped in because they saw the the bottle picture of America Juice, which is one of the upcoming barrel picks that we've got. I'll actually put it on the screen here. I gotta. How can I do this the easiest? Probably go to Patreon and just download the picture. It's on my phone. Okay. There we go. God, look at that. That is a beautiful image. All right, let me upload this and show you guys real quick. Guys, 171 people in here. Thank you for hanging out. Please hit that like button if you don't mind. Get a few more folks in here. We do have a giveaway tonight. 4 prizes. One of them, actually 2 of them, are going to be Buckner's 15s. We've got our first pick, Sugar Daddy, 127 proof. Our second pick, Spicy Gal, 137 proof. We also have a sample pack of tonight's pours and a 4th prize now of an 11-year 1792 bottled and bond pick. So every $5 super chat, Venmo, PayPal gets you an entry. We'll run the randomizer at the end. All the info is in the description if you want to do Venmo, PayPal. Okay, let's upload this. Let's put this on the screen now. Check this out. America Juice turned out so incredibly well. It's just a wild AI image of like fire-breathing statues of liberty and bald eagles with sunglasses and burgers, fries, and milkshakes, and Uncle Sam riding motorcycles and all sorts of craziness with the cool wax and everything. So I think a lot of people saw this image today in the Facebook page for River Roots and jumped into the Patreon. It's a very limited thing. We split the barrel. We have like 113 bottles is the confirmed number. So very few, if any of the, I mean, some will, but very few of these bottles are going to make it to the $10 tier. It's just the reality of the situation. I never thought we'd have such high demand for this particular bottle. Then we came up with the label design, and I was like, oh, shoot. The demand is going to be high just based on the label. So for those of you who are just now jumping in the Patreon, that's the answer to that. I've had a lot of people be like, is this going to make it to the $10 tier? Yeah, but it's going to sell out in about 10 seconds. And then there was something else about the Patreon I needed to say. I can't remember. If I think of it, I'll say something. Okay, so let's go on to the Star Hill Farm now. 14.7 proof wheat whiskey, which is kind of seeing a surge right now in 2025. You got the Heaven Hill 19 wheat whiskey. You've got this wheat whiskey. We did have the Penelope wheat whiskeys as well. There's probably some others I'm forgetting about. Of course, Middle West has a wheat whiskey, which I think is one of the best wheat whiskeys in the country. Dry Fly makes good stuff too. Okay. All right. All right. Let's pull up Venmo here. I actually like the nose on this quite a bit, and I'm not a maker's person. Robert W, thank you for the super chat. Who in the chat has tried the Star Hill Farm? And if you did, what did you pay for it? Like, did you pay the flipper price or did you pay the SRP, which I think is what, like $100? Robert, thank you for the super chat. Got you in there. Let's get Slad in here, Mr. Eagle Rare. DM Cam on Discord. Oh, I hate you so much. Don't do that. Please don't do that. I hate you. Ben says America. Thanks, man. Slad, I'm gonna give Slad super chat to someone else. All right, Ben, got you in for one. America's right. What's up, Avery? Good to see you, man. Cameron, are you at the point where you'll drop 3 barrels on every drop? If so, when would you move to 4? Yeah, I mean, as long as there's logistics involved with getting 3 on each drop, especially if you're dealing with different distilleries, trying to coordinate it. There's going to be times where it doesn't work and we can only drop 1 or 2, but I'm doing my best to get 3 barrels on every drop. When would we move to 4? It's going to be a while for us to confidently move to 4, especially if it's every drop, but it's also hard to pick that many barrels, to be honest. We would probably need like 200 more members, or 150 more members maybe. We're almost at 500, which is cool. If we hit like 650, I could see doing 4. There's also probably going to come a time where we do 4 because we have to. Like, oh, logistically, this distillery wanted to send it at this time, and we just end up doing it. But right now, shooting for 3. I think 3, like 450 bottles is such a scary number, and then we blow through it, and I'm like, okay, I guess we can do this. Tyler, thank you for the super chat. $30 is awesome, man. Got you in here for 6 entries. Dude, this smells really good. Star Hill Farm. Like, it's got some of the maker's thing to it, which is like that kind of dairy note. But there's more fruit here than anything else. It's so much red apple. It's just like tons and it's like candy apple, like red apple, candy apple. That's kind of where we're at. And some cherry too, and actually a decent little bit of like proofy spice coming out of this, even as a wheat whiskey. It also has like a pretty solid age statement on here. I believe this is, yeah, there it is. Distilled and barreled fall 16 and fall 17. So this is a combination of 7 and 8 year whiskey. All right, here we go. Well, I'll be damned. That's probably my favorite Maker's Mark product. Maybe besides the first cellar age release. I like that one. I liked it a lot more than last year's. 2024 cellar age I thought was not great. The only thing, like the only complaint about this is that it absolutely drinks like a wheat whiskey, where the mid palate is so gentle and it falls off. But that's a style thing. I'm just trying to, I'm intently searching for something I don't like about this, and I'm not finding. I feel like I need to get like a regular maker's bottle to put next to this. I mean, it's definitely not in this room. It's definitely in the basement. And I think all of my bottles are blocked in right now by drum equipment. So I'll do it later. But I like this. I like this a lot. You know what it reminds me of? This reminds me a lot of the Middle West wheat whiskey pick that we did. It's not as proofy, ours was like 130 proof or something. It doesn't have as much body because the Middle West higher proof and aged in a 30-gallon barrel. But this has a very similar profile to that Middle West wheat whiskey. I very much like this whiskey. It's not quite like, it's not the like overwhelming gripping experience in the mid palate that you might want from a limited edition kind of whiskey, but if you're a Maker's fan and you like weeded products and you don't mind that gentle fall off in the mid palate, the flavors here are great. All right. I'm sold. I like this a lot. Teeny bit of, does this make sense? Medicinal strawberry. Like a little bit of a medicinal strawberry note in here. It's got sour in it. It's like, okay, maybe it's more of sour and less medicinal. But the sourness in this I could see with air, maybe that sourness getting too much. I'm going to keep an eye on it. But right now, it's just enough to add another dimension to the whiskey and not anything negative. All right. I'll put it over here. I'll keep the glass, too, just if we need it for comparisons. I think the Star is one of the best they put out. Paid $99. So, okay, $99. Do I love that price? Not really. But maybe that could just be me being a Maker's hater. I need to have it like totally blind before I can complain about the price. Got it for $120. Journeyman, Corsets and Whips. I don't like that bottle. It's too crafty for me. Have it and paid $140, paid $129. Still didn't like it, says Adam. 2025 marries 2 mash bills. One using 70% wheat and 30 barley, and the other 100% wheat. Wow, okay. It's a whole lot of wheat. Lewis, by the way, Lewis or Luis, have I asked you if it's Lewis or Luis? I want to just get it right. Thank you for the super chat. Missed the UPS guy twice, hoping to catch him tomorrow for my cafe. Yeah, I think one more time and they might send it back, so. What's up, Peter? Good to see you, man. Guys, Peter Fasciano, Whiskey's a Journey. Go check out his channel. Give him a follow or subscribe. We subscribe on YouTube. We follow on Instagram. Picked up Star Hill Farm today for $100. Big red apple notes is dominant. Spice and loads of fruit. I like it. Yeah, I am just not a Maker's person, but... And I'm coming back to the nose right now. And I'm getting like a caramel chew note. Man. Good stuff. Are all the Doc Holliday 15 buff turkey? As far as I know right now, yes. But don't take my word for that. I'm much more unfamiliar with that brand. Greg Miller would love to get the Star Hill Farm, but I'm sure taters will line up for it when it comes to Ohio. Yeah, probably. Amy, I just don't get the spoiled milk on this, thankfully. I mean, there's maybe a little bit of that there, but I think if you gave this to me blind, I don't think I'm calling that Maker's. Maybe when I get it on the palate, because of the way it drinks, I might think that, but not because of the actual profile. And maybe I'm looking at this through rose-colored glasses right now. I don't think so, though. Brandon, thanks, bro. And for one says, hopefully I can make the pick video watch like a D&D video. I don't know if that's good or bad, dude. My videos are not that entertaining here on YouTube. Grant, it was from Grant. Okay. Grant, did I say Brant earlier? Now I'm thinking, did I say Brant instead of Grant? I think it's because of your last name. Anyways, just got on. Justin sent the Star Hill. That's right. Okay. Because I was like, I knew there was more to it, and that's why it stuck in my mind that we were talking about that blind. We both created that unconfirmed sources blind. I got to have Sarah make cards for it so that it's a little more engaging. I don't like doing blinds when people don't know what I'm sipping ahead of time. I think it's more fun that way. Derek, thank you for the super chat. And for 2. Appreciate it. Okay, we got to keep it moving now. Gosh. Trying to keep up, huh? One more. Matt Cochran. Thank you, Matt. Let me read what she said here in just a sec. Where are we going to go next? Matt Cochran is in for 2. Got my order today, and the pick team crushed it with sweet heat. Can't wait to crack the others. I'll tell Sarah you said that, because Sarah is the pick team. Me and Sarah sat at this table and went through 20 of those fucking barrels to find that one. So, and we have the short barrel of that coming too, Solar Flare, which is, I think like 90 bottles was the estimate. That one is also very, very good. It's higher proof, so it's just kind of a different take on those barrels. You can definitely get the backbone, but 300 on secondary some places. Nuts, yeah. How did they get rid of Maker's signature sour dairy note? I don't know. I don't know. All right. Where are we going next? Let's do something weird. Let's do this. Calumet Farm Rye. I saw this on the shelf, and I was debating whether or not to pick this up because I feel like every shelf product from Calumet Farm I've had is not very good. Like the blend of, what was it, 8 and 15, and then there was a blend of, there's now a blend of, is it 7 and 17 blend that they've got now? And I haven't tried that new one, but the other bourbon blends that I've had, I'm like, nah, I don't know about this. But obviously the 14, 15, 16 is good. 17, way overpriced. 18, even more overpriced, but very good. Probably best of the year. And then I saw this rye. And I'll tell you the reason I bought this rye, which I think is $60 maybe. It's because if you turn it over and you look at the mash bill on the back, it's a mash bill that very few places make. It's 91% rye and 9% malted barley. So I'm pretty darn certain this is new Riff. And so that's why I bought this. So it's 100 proof. Yeah, there's like one or two other places that make a 91.9, and I don't know that they're in Kentucky. So this is a Kentucky rye. So let's get this poured out here. Guys, I cannot keep up with the super chats. Holy crap. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't like the entire stream to be me reading out, like just trying to keep up, you know? I feel like that makes the stream so boring. But I really appreciate it. So let me grab a few here. I've got some in my personal account and some in the business account. Just a reminder, the one that's in the description, the Venmo, is my business account. It's better if you send it there. It's kind of all the same in the end, but that's the best place for it to go. Good to know the best palate kept you on track. Get out of here, Matt. Sarah's not home. She's when she gets home, I'll tell her you said that. Adam, thanks, man. Didn't spend $900 on a bottle today, so I'll spend some here. I did spend $900 today. Guys, an 18-year very old St. Nick pick went up for $900, 130.5 proof on Bourbon Outfitter. And I mean, I don't know if it's Barton or Heaven Hill, but I had to buy it. I just had to. Mr. Anderson, get you in here, man. One more. Just got word that our state only got 75 bottles of Michter's 10. Oh, that's tough. Please don't talk about it. All right. So has anybody tried this Calumet Rye? Oh, Sarah's home. Matt, I'll tell her you said that. Oh, James, you're fine, man. You're fine. This rye smells really good. This rye smells really, really good. And actually what will be fun to do right after this is to taste these New Riff products, the bourbon and the rye, and see if the two ryes feel like they have a relationship. And let me just confirm, New Riff 10-year rye mash bill. Let me check in. Excuse me. I thought it had the mash bill in this press release. Does it not say? No, it says the bourbon mash bill, but it doesn't say the rye mash bill in the press release on Breaking Bourbon. Dude, come on now. I really thought 91.9 is a New Riff mash bill, I thought. But it says that their single barrel ryes are 95.5. Okay, well, maybe I'm crazy. Sam, that's not a secret, is it? What's a secret? You can just search it on their website, right? All right. Oh man, that's such a buy. That's such a buy. Oh, listen. I am in love with this rye whiskey. I can't even say words. Is this going to be shelf stable? Because, my God. Calumet Farm. I love finding stuff like this. I love finding this because it's underrated, it's not talked about, and I think it's really nice. Dude, is this $90? Did I pay $90 for this? Oh! Okay. Oh, that's tough. I didn't think I paid $90 for this. I thought this was $60. Ooh. That's about as much as I'd want to. It says it's 5-year-old rye. Oh, man. That's a drag. I wouldn't rule this out at the price point. I wouldn't rule it out. I'm not running out to grab it at $90, but I do think it's really good. That's a bummer. What's up, Mojo? Gasva911. Thank you for the super chat. Got you in for 4. Jeb. Oh, man. Jeb's jumping in. What's going on? Jeb for 2. Says, cheers to your careless spending. That was a channel expense. That's getting written off. Anonymous Kidney in for 2. I'm just going to write Anon Kidney for 2. Thank you. So, yeah, New Riff Rye. Oh, is it 90? Is it 5 malted rye? I don't know. I would expect it's barley, but I don't know. Oh, man. Anytime, dude. I'm glad you got to try them. Those 20 years. Yeah, Slad, you're right. If it was an NDP single barrel bottling, everybody would buy this at 5 years old. I know. You're right. It's available for $75 online. I mean, but then you're shipping, so. Zach Jones, you look taller. Shut up, Zach Jones. This has a little bit of like some kind of like herbal tea note to it that I love. It's very sweet for what it is. It's fruity. It does have herbal, like herbaceous rye spice, herbal tea, but I think it's just all around. This is really nice. Andrew, I'm talking about recommending it for others. I'm number one. I'm not recommending $900 blind purchase on something, but I was going to recommend a $60 blind purchase on this. At 90 though, it's like, I don't know. Oh, Tom Gray with the text from River Roots. Oh, nice. July 19th. Am I free July 19th? I'm fortunately playing a Journey tribute show with the orchestra. Zach Jones, I hate you, bro. All right, did I get... All right, let's move on from this rye. Actually, you know what? Sarah's home. I'm going to see if she can write note cards for these blinds. Hey. Can you write some note cards real quick? Right now? Yeah, I forgot to have you do it. Probably just 4? Yeah. All right. After this. Okay. Yep. I didn't order tacos. Really? Really? All right, here you go. I'll get you the note cards too. We're gonna have a blind flight. We're gonna do it. right. That's like 45 more minutes of stream that's gonna happen. What's up, Joe D? All right, what was I doing? Getting to my 4th whiskey of the night. Mr. Anderson, let me get you in here again. In for one. Just picked up the Calumet 16 the other day. Great bottle. It is a great bottle, especially for the price, you know. Calumet Rye 80 in Virginia. Okay, it's a little better. A little better. Tom Snyder. Thank you for the 4 entries, man. Getting to the party a little late. What do you think of the old Fitz? Just go back and watch it, man, because it's good. It's good. I just think the price is a little too high. It is. I'm glad that it's not as nutty, and I'm glad that it has a really nice, sweet profile, and it differentiates itself, in my opinion, sharply from Larceny. And I will, in the review video for Old Fitz 7, I'll put it next to Larceny because I think that is the most important comparison, looking at price, looking at proof, and supposed age of Larceny. Shelf stable or shelf staple? Stable with a B. Staple is a shelf staple is something you would probably have in your house. It's a staple on your shelf. Shelf stable would be in a store. Although I guess you could have a shelf staple product also being a staple in a store, but it's with a B. Flex for us. Yeah, you want to see that, huh? Oh, good call on the hydration, Rizzle D. Thank you. Amy, thank you for the super chat. Very unnecessary. Amy is the OG. Thank you, Amy. Cheers, all Cam. Love to you and Sarah, and love to you right back, Amy. Thanks for hanging out. Slat, hey, you need to write these for me. Listen, she's game, you know. Guys, listen, our house is being built starting tomorrow. They are digging tomorrow. So I'm gonna drive over. They didn't tell us what time they're digging. They don't want you there when they're gonna start digging, but I am gonna go over like as soon as I wake up, just drive over and just kind of park somewhere and just peek and see if they're building it. But yeah, tomorrow is dig day and should be done in about 5 months, which is 4 months faster than I was thinking it was going to be done. So, you know, little $5 super chat here and there definitely helps. Oh, you heard her say right now. I guess the noise gate's not on the mic. B Walsh, thanks for the super chat, man. I got you in for 4. Cafe Cadence comes tomorrow. Let me know what you think of it. I'm so happy with the way that turned out. Greg, New Riff Straight Rye is 5% malted rye. Interesting. So I think they make the 91.9 mash, but maybe it's not in any of their own products. I think maybe that's something they source out because High and Wicked also sources it, and High and Wicked tells you that it's New Riff and it's 91.9. Mike and Nova, thanks for the super chat, man. So fun at River Roots hanging out, man. In for 4. Thanks for spending so we don't have to keep up the great content and even better picks. I'm trying, man. Yeah, I do. You know, I'll fall on the sword, I guess, and buy the 19 or the 18-year bourbon. That's what the super chats are for, so that I can tell you on the next live stream if it was worth the $900. Sarah is, yeah, she's killing it. I'm team stable. What do you? If you're talking about science and oxidation, okay. I'm talking about it's stable and it's on all the shelves and all the stores. Okay, I give up. So have you guys have other whiskey tubers been subject to you guys mobbing them about stable and staple? Dang it. I got to put that on the screen, Sam. Lee Wilma, thank you for the super chat, man. put that up there too. Okay, Big D energy. You know what? I don't want to hear it from you. I don't want to hear stable versus stable. Okay, I need to taste some whiskey, guys. You're making me mad. Also, saturation level is as loud as I'm being right now, very low. I'm feeling good. Even with the new, you know, the upgraded diet, counting the macros, counting the calories, doing all the stuff. I thought I'd have very low tolerance. I probably do, but I've been having small sips and almost zero sips because I won't shut my mouth. Let's go straight into the new Riff now. So I need a couple of fresh glasses here. Cam, that's just a shelfer. You know what? Your mom's just a shelfer. I don't even know what that means. Fit Cam is getting the good saturation, says Austin. All right, I'm excited for this. Like, I didn't know these were coming out this year. And then when I saw the announcement about them, I don't think I've been as excited about a bottle coming out this year as I have been for these two new Riffs because the price was like $90 per bottle. I paid secondary for these, just full disclosure, but the actual price is like $90 per bottle. They're 120.5 proof, and usually we see a lot of like 100 proofer stuff, age stated, coming out of New Riff. These are 120, not 100, and they're both 10-year stated. New Riff, to me, is, I think it's a distillery that could, I don't even know the best way to put that, like, take over sounds so dramatic, but it's a distillery that could disrupt the market in a lot of ways, I think, because if you try the Limestone Farms private stock, which was distilled at New Riff for Rabbit Hole, I think, with that Rabbit Hole 70-10-10-10 mash bill, but at New Riff, and you just, the flavors in that and the just everything about that, and then you taste some of New Riff stuff as it's getting older now, 8 years. I'm like, dude, this stuff is going to be dangerous, especially like some of the ryes. Like as like if this is truly New Riff rye, holy shit, that's 5 years old. Like, what's going on? Hey, look, all the YouTubers got 10-year New Riff this week. Oh no, I had it okay. I don't know how sarcastic I want to be to you right now because I don't know how sarcastic you're being to me. So I'll hold back. You can send a second comment, and let me know if you're poking me. Because if you're poking me, I'm going to poke you right back. Because I bought this on secondary and I spent $360 on it. So, just full disclosure, nobody sent me these bottles. But you can, you know, the conspiracy theory of Whiskey Tube is a fun one. It really is. I can't even organize my basement. So, I wouldn't be any good at a conspiracy theory. I sadly got busy and forgot when they were released there, so I forgot to buy them. They're 8 years, still one of my favorites. It's so good. Adam, yeah, you got a super chat. If you're gonna take the piss or whatever the Brits say, you better super chat it. I know I should make a video leaning into it. All right. All right, so let me grab a couple of super chats here from my personal Venmo. Travis, thank you, man. Travis sent this before the stream started because he's a freaking baller. And for two, says, on vacation, hope this helps clear some of the floor bottles along with keeping me posted on the stuff. We give you too much grief, but you take it in stride. Love you, brother. Love you too, man. Thank you. Thanks, Travis. All right, James Groff, I got you in for two. Thank you, man. Toshi says, cheers, buddy, crushing some of your Buckner spicy pick. I hope you like it, Toshi. And Toshi with freaking 20 entries. Thank you, bro. That's a $100 super chat from Toshi. Toshi, we need to go back to Willet together. That was so fun. and balling out of control with you on the most expensive 1 ounce of whiskey I've ever purchased was very fun. So we should do that again. Greg Y in for 2 entries. Thank you. With a little dice emoji. I think we only have 2 more here. Bobby Holton in for 2 says Buck. Thank you, Bobby. And finally, Brett, man of the hour with the video earlier today, says, saw the video today. Glad you got to the 2 strangest things I could have sent. The oat is interesting. I like it. Anyways, I'll keep lurking. Maybe send you something random soon. Please do, Brett. Please do. It's good to see your name pop up, man. All right, so we got that. All the personal super chats. Now let's get into these new riffs. We got a delivery, though. It's okay. Do you have the other cards?
They're under.
They in here?
Where did I put them? They're right here. They're under. They're hidden in there.
All right, thank you.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right. Where's the link for more of this Cafe Cadence? Yeah, I wish there was more. Is there distribution on those? I don't think there's any distribution on these 10 years. Adam, you're funny, bro. Don't go for the rage bait. I'll go for the rage bait a little bit, you know? That's funny. All right. Mike, with food, staples are always available. There we go. All right, Mike. Sounds like Mike's on my side. Let's do this now. We're going to start with the bourbon. Here we go. 120.5. Yeah, man. I love this nose. This is, let me think about this. What is the fruit I'm getting? Figs. This is very figgy. Dried figs is what this reminds me of. Yeah. There's quite a bit of spice though. I know this is a bourbon, but it's 35% rye. So it's a really high rye mash bill. And that does stand out. It's 10 years old. And I guess that's not super old. So I was thinking like, oh man, it's 10 years old. Shouldn't it be calmed down by now? Not really. 10-year whiskey can be pretty aggressive or pretty abrasive. And this is. It has a lot of intensity. Honestly, like on the nose, I might even prefer this at a lower proof. I think they've probably watered this down. Nope, it says barrel proof. Is the other one barrel proof too? So how did they must have just blended the right barrels to get both of these at 120.5. If they're not watered down. So I may actually prefer a little water on the nose because this has some punch to it. But that fig note in here is strong for me. All right. Oh yeah, that'll smack you around a little bit. Yeah, man. Very good. Damn spicy. I mean, wow. I can't wait to see it. So I think this whiskey right now is at a turning point at this age, at 10 years old. I think for me to really, well, let me back up. $90 for this, holy crap. Like if you ever have the opportunity to buy this for $90, buy it. That's not a question. Now speaking just larger scale, I think this whiskey is in like that, it's in that turning point where I think it needs 2 more years in the barrel to get to like a special spot. Because where this is right now, it's like the high rye aspect of the whiskey is fighting the really aged aspect of the whiskey, and it's not totally coming together, which is why I use the word abrasive and kind of aggressive on this. So I think maybe a few more years in the barrel is going to send it over the edge and make it incredible and dark and rich, and with more of an oaky backbone. Now that could also just be the barrel selection that went into this blend. It could be from a certain floor that has a a certain kind of profile. So you never know. You never know how they did that. But by and large, this is fantastic and is going to give so many brands a run for their money, especially when it becomes more mainstream to get this age statement out of New Riff, when it's not just a one-off distillery release. If they ever get to the point where they can have a 10-year shelf product or 12 or 14 LE or whatever that's more obtainable than just a distillery-only release, that would be great. I'll do one more sip. There's a nice little leather note in here too. That's really where the age is coming from. I don't get a lot of like heavy oak, but there's a nice little leather note and almost not allspice, but there's some kind of spice thing in here. Not clove, not allspice, not nutmeg. I don't know. Yeah, I really like that a lot. Wow. Okay. And it's really nice long finish. Not just spice, but a lot of like mouth-watering flavor too. Sam says Cafe Cadence, baby William Evan Hill. I'll take it. All right, Lowell Schrock says, let's see, got you in here for 4. It says, get some Buckners. Thank you, man. Little dice emoji. She's doing the cards, man. Eat the chicken. I just don't listen. She makes chicken, and I just don't want to eat chicken. I just don't want the chicken, guys. Come on. That's funny. You heard that too. Damn it. Yeah, who is this guy? Cam, can I buy this off secondary, or are only you allowed to buy from secondary? All right. I don't know who you are, but get out of here. I'm trying to troll. Sauce, if this... Okay, we're in the inside joke territory now. All right, let's go to the New Riff Rye now. 10-year rye. Listen, guys, if you want to know these inside jokes, you can join the Drums and Drams Patreon. Make sure you have a Discord account. Connect your Patreon to your Discord. Jump in the Discord. Degeneracy 24/7. Come hang out. There's the plug. 10-year rye whiskey, 120.5. Okay. The bourbon's a little darker than the rye. Just a little bit. Oh my God. How is the rye sweeter than the bourbon? Yeah. The rye is sweeter than the bourbon. It's like syrupy. It's getting into like grape territory on the nose with this rye. It is very spicy. It's crawling up my nose spicy. Wow. And actually, you know what? There's more caramel sweetness, like straight up classic Kentucky caramel sweetness on the rye than the bourbon. Oh my God, this smells good. Oh, it's not close. The rye is... That's a top rye of the year. It actually has a shorter finish, though, than the bourbon. This is so weird. It is the rye. The rye is sweeter and has a shorter finish than the bourbon. None of those things make sense. But the flavor profile of this rye is crazy good. What is going on right now? Going back to the bourbon, there's a little coffee note in there. Almost like a Kelvin barrel note. I wonder if these are Kelvin barrels. Because the bourbon has a little bit of that Kelvin coffee thing. Dude, these, look, they're both a little bit abrasive for what they are. But at $90, you just can't argue with the quality of this whiskey. Does this match what you thought of the 8 years? I just feel like it's a totally different animal at the proof point, you know? I don't own the 8 years, unfortunately. I've just tried them, like samples of them, so I just would have to do it side by side. I don't think I could give you an accurate read on that right now. Brandon, it's amazing to me how that sticks out. Which one are you talking about, Brandon? What exactly are you talking about? I don't even remember what I just said, so. Mike, get used to chicken. As a new home buyer, it's a cheap source of protein. Have you tried the Raven by Take's new brand, the Reveries? No, I haven't tried that. I haven't tried any of the Reverie stuff. Honestly, like I don't know anything about anything that Take does. Because when I first got into American whiskey, I think I signed up for the email list for our bourbon, and I didn't know. Guys, I'm not computer illiterate by any means, but I've just never been a Reddit person. I've been on Reddit like 5 times in my life. It's just not something that I do. So that was the first time I'd ever heard of Reddit, and I got on there and I'm like, I don't know what this is, and I think I signed up for an email list, didn't understand the waves, unsubscribed, and I was out, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. So is the Reverie stuff, do you buy it through the email list, or is there like a separate site that he sells it on? Like, does he put it through Shared Pour? Like, where is it advertised? I literally don't know anything about it. What's up, Dustin? Good to see you, bro. Is New Riff going to start doing older picks? I think they're doing 6-year rise at the very least right now. Oh, the Kelvin. He says, what'd you say, Brandon, up there? Amazing how that sticks out, the Kelvin. Yeah, well, I don't know if it is, but if you could definitely convince me that that's the bourbon is in Kelvin barrels. The way that chocolate note, or the dark chocolate / coffee thing coming off the rye stood out so much. Dude, the rye is... You know what it reminds me of? Sam, are you still here? This New Riff rye reminds me of that Willet rye barrel pick that you sent me. That tasted like a bourbon. That's exactly what this reminds me of. Greg Smith, thank you for the super chat. In for 2. Says, Cafe Cadence and Sweet Heat being delivered tomorrow. I can't wait. Oh, man. Let me know what you think of them when you get them. I'm excited to hear everybody's thoughts. Stu says, get email, pick your preference, get selected for the wave, purchase what you want that's still available. Yeah, I just don't have an interest in kind of doing that, I don't the crapshoot of it, it's like I would like to know what's going on. If it's like random, I don't know. It's just, plus I'm not out there buying a lot of single barrels. There's only so much whiskey I can pick up for the channel, and between our single barrels and the channel, I'm not really out there buying a lot of other people's single barrels or products like that, at least, every once in a while. Hit the like, says Mojo. Thanks, man. Justin didn't like Reveries at all. Jason from Ashton really enjoyed it. I just can't see that Indiana and Kentucky blend being better than Bardstown blends. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Well, what else we got here, guys? We have a blind flight, and do I need to do anything else? We've got the Dully. We can talk about the preservation a different day. I don't think I put that on the thumbnail, right? It was these, that, Penelope. I think that's it. I think we did everything on the thumbnail. We can go into the blind. I'm coming back right now to the Star Hill Farm. I still like it. Yeah, I like it. Damn it. Makers, you got me. You got me. Funny story, Mike. Stu just won Jason's... Stu just won Jason's 2025 blind last night. Raven Batch 1. Wow. That's high praise then. I knew what you were looking at Reddit. Greg, starting this year, I believe all New Riff picks are intended to be 6 years. but I have yet to hear a 6-year bourbon pick. I would love to. Maybe it's time to see if we can get a new Riff pick then. If the age is going up, I'm interested. If the age is not going up and it's still 4, I'm not interested in doing one of those picks. I've just never had one that stood out to me at that, 4 years old. Everyday Reviews and Rants, thank you for the super chat. Got you in for 2. Been a minute, had to stop in tonight. Freaking paramedic school is ruining all my hobbies. No time. Oh man, but listen, you got to do what you got to do. Thanks for stopping by, man. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, Sam, the Willet Rye was amazing. I would pay $300 for that. I think that's fine. I get it. That was a really, really good pick. But this reminds me of that. Not quite as sophisticated and put together, but really good. Okay. Let's wrap this portion. Do you guys want to do the Dully, or should I do a blind review right now? Before we go to the blind flight, my palate's on. My saturation level is like 30%, 35%. I've had very small and very few sips tonight. I could totally do a blind review and like with a rating right now, which is something that I want to do on live streams, like maybe 1 per live stream. I think that'd be fun. Morgan, do you watch the Junkies Live the other night talking about Bruzel dropping out of Matt Madness? Oh, it is true. Yeah, it's true. Thoughts? I guess we got to stick to the schedule on Matt's end, which I understand. And if Bruzel's too busy, and maybe if he's on the road and like doesn't want to do it from like a hotel room or something, then I get it. You want to be in maybe a controlled environment. Maybe he's just scared, I'm just kidding. Listen, here's the deal. Bruzel put up one really good performance, and now he can just ride on that, and he can bounce. I'm just talking shit. Because I wanted Bruzel to make it to my round because I wanted to face Bruzel, and I wanted Grease to make it to my round, which Grease is still in it, so he could. So it could have been me, Grease, and Bruzel, and I was kind of hoping that would be the result. Brandon says, do a one take, don't read anything, and blind review, easy cut. I don't need to repost into a video. It's all good. It's just for the live stream. And then the rating will go into the spreadsheet for the Patreon members. We got enough blind samples, trust me. Austin, I don't want to talk anymore about that. But I got you, bro. Do the blind review. All right, we'll do the blind. You got to prove your blind review snipes aren't sketchy. Well, this is not a review for this is not like a guessing blind review. This is like me doing a rating. So it's not quite the same. So let's do a blind review right now. So I've got my sample box on the floor behind me. So let me pull up the little spinny wheel that I've been using. Okay, so this is the batched product spinning wheel. So I'll turn the brightness down. Turn the volume up a little bit so you can see it. All right. All right, B253734. All right, so one sec. B253734. There we go. And then this is the part that I cut out of all the videos. 3734. There it is. All right. All right. B253734. So I'll show you guys what's in this glass. Oh, shit. I'll show you what's in this glass. When I open this, it should be It'll be on this side, so I'm going to pull this straight up. You can see what's in here. This is what I'm about to review. This is a batched product from 2025. And I think there's probably like 40 of these samples in there. So, you know, I'm not trying to guess what this is. But there you go. No spoilers in the chat, please. And I hope this is not something that I would want to make a video from, but that's the risk you got to take. So here we go. Color, pretty dark. All right, so on the nose, I'm getting a lot of like cinnamon apple notes on the nose. Huh. And almost, yeah, it's very woody. It's woody and cinnamon apple on the nose. I'm not going to look at the chat at all, guys. You know what this reminds me of? Like, again, this is not about guessing, but it kind of reminds me of the Star Hill Farm that I just had. So yeah, I'm getting like cinnamon apple. It's nice and sweet on the nose. The more it's sitting out right now, like even just in the first minute or 2 minutes of being poured out, it's getting sweeter. So let's go to the palate. Ooh, I like the palate. It falls off kind of quickly on the palate. Nice, like vanilla icing that happens mid palate into the finish. It's very sweet, but it does have quite a, like, it has a nice little woody influence to it. And it's getting, so I'm going back to the nose, much more caramel as I go back to the nose now. But it does have quite a bit of spice to it. I like this a lot. Is it a complete experience for me? No. Whatever this is. But there's a lot that I like about it. Oh, the sweetness is nice. So it's weird because part of me wants to, when I'm tasting something like this, and I don't know what it is, right? In my head, I'm like, if you told me this is a wheated bourbon or a wheat whiskey, I have more forgiveness for the way that this like kind of dips in the mid palate. If you told me this was a rye, I'd say that's not even, there's no way. But if it's a bourbon, like a rye bourbon that dips this way, I would have more of an issue with it. So it's hard when you don't have that context to know. So I think right now, for me, it does have this dip, and I don't know what it is. But there's something about it that I like a lot. There's like just the profile itself. There's a lot of wood in the profile, a lot of oak, not aged oak, just like it's like brown sugary oak in the profile. Part of me wants to rate this like high, like 86. Like part of me is 86 and part of me is like 82 because it kind of falls off. I'll do one more sip. I said I wasn't going to look at chat, but when you go for a blind review, do you change the way you taste approach? Maybe yes, because when you don't have any context for the pour, sorry, let me put that back. When you don't have any context for a pour, it does change. You know what I mean? And then you're just... I think what would help is if you had categories. Like if these were divided into either proof categories, age categories, type categories, something like that, and you at least had some semblance of information, some bit of information about what you're tasting to help guide your, you know, what you should be thinking about in the context of the whole thing. I like this a lot. I'm like stuck on my ratings around like 80, 83, 84. I keep finding that. Like I want to rate things in that. This is definitely in the 80s. Definitely not in the 90s. The finish is very nice. It's so sweet and inviting. I'm going to give this a benefit of the doubt. 85. 85 on this. So let's see what it is. Come on, are you serious? Okay. So what did I say about this? I said it had a dip. Yep. I went back to the nose on this and I said I'm getting more caramel, and I said the fucking same thing about Star Hill. God, guys, 10-4. I will never escape this. I'm definitely cheating on everything. Now, listen, you saw me pull my phone out and randomly spin that wheel. 85, I think that's a totally fair score for this whiskey. I really do. I can't believe that was... Oh, should I do one more then, just to show you? It's just to show Jeremy. Just to show Jeremy that it's not 35 samples of Star Hill. Should I do one more? I don't know if it's fun in a live stream setting like this for me to do these kind of reviews when I'm not guessing, when I'm just rating. But you guys let me know what you think of that, just as like a little pop-up thing in these. But listen, I'm definitely making a video for Star Hill. Obviously, the video won't be blind now since I've just burned the sample. But I think that's good because I think I can say in that video, listen, I've tasted it blind, I've tasted it unblind, and I really like this product. The thing that I picked up more in this blind was more wood influence. That's not something that I don't think I called that out when I first tasted it 30 minutes ago, whatever it was. I did call a lot of the same like sweet notes, fruit notes, fell off in the mid, more caramel as I came back to it. But I don't think I called out that oaky, like brown sugar oak, I think is what I said. My God. It's not even an app. It's a video on the phone. That would be, listen, that would be funny. Please do another. All right, let's do another. Watch this next one. This next one's going to be like a total shit show. That's what would be funny right now. All right, let's do one more. I won't delete that out of here, out of the queue. So if it spins onto the same number, I'll just respin it. So, all right, here we go. Let's do one more. Come on. Come on now. There we go. B254366. Okay. Find the reveal card here first. 4366. I also don't have to show you ahead of time. If you guys, like, if anybody legitimately thinks 4366, if anybody legitimately thinks that I'm like peeking out of the corner of my eye or looking at the screen, like, I don't have to open this. I can open this at the very end. You'd let me know right now if you want me to show you this ahead of time or not. All right, 4366 is here. He screen recorded the app. Listen, man, that is a great idea. Thank you for the idea. Rich says, don't show. You guys let me know. I don't mind either way. All right. You made me snot, Jeremy. Colin says, show it, show it, show it. Okay, I'll show it. So this is what I told Sarah about these envelopes. Colin, what's up, dude? What's up, man? I told her to write it in here so that the numbers should be facing, like if I'm reading the number, the card should be facing me too. Some of them have not been that. So I hope I'm opening this under the hope that I'm not seeing it. That it's truly like if I open it here, I should be able to pull this out right now. You guys tell me if you see the answer right now. And it's not the, not the numbers. Because I know I think she did most of them probably the right way, but I think she probably just slipped up. So let me know if you guys are seeing the answer right now. I'll look back in about 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so was that the answer? Like I said, yes, you got it. Okay, so then we're good to put it down that way. Okay, cool. All right, so that was a Star Hill. Here's the new one. Ooh, This is like, kind of root beery on the nose. Root beer candies on the nose. Please no spoilers, guys. Just a reminder. Junior, thank you for the super chat. Dude, you didn't need to send it. Thanks, bro. Junior, I got you in for 2 entries. As promised, here's a super chat to make up for the code CAM debacle from last drop. Treat yourself to something nice. Thanks, man. Did I miss any other super chats, by the way? I'm going to scroll up real quick. Kraken. I did miss Kraken. Sorry about that. Kraken, I got you in for 2. Cheers to you. That was probably when I was doing the blind. If not, then I just suck. Oh, I also missed Volk 21. So, no, I just suck, actually. In for 1. Hello, first time catching a stream. Thank you for stopping in. I hope you didn't leave because I didn't read your super chat 16 minutes ago. I'm sorry, and thank you for being here. All right, back to this. Yeah, this is like this is definitely root beery. Reminds me of like, again, I'm not trying to guess. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts. This reminds me of like when you have an MGP bourbon that has like a root beery kind of profile. That's kind of the root beer note that I'm getting here. Smells sweet, but not particularly eventful. Like solid, sweet, but kind of simple. Yeah, and kind of the same thing on the palate. Like, it's very approachable. It's a nice way to, whatever this is a nice way to kind of experience a darker whiskey profile in an accessible way. Because the proof feels, it feels like probably like 105 or something like that. It's easygoing. You get the dark profile, but you don't get too much proof or too much spice to kind of like, rip your face off. But because of that, there's nothing standing out about this whiskey. Finish is medium to medium short. And so all the things that I've said so far make me think I'm in the high 70s because I'm not saying like, oh, this is great. Like, this is really great. It's like, no, this is doing the job, And so then my mind goes, we're probably in like that above average territory, which is 75 to 79. We're probably not in like the 80 to 83 territory because that last one that I had, the Star Hill Farm, it's like, it's clear when you first smell it and you first taste it, like for me, I know I'm in 80s land. It's 80 to 85, I think is easy to pick up for me in my scale. 86 to 90 or 86 to 89, that's harder because you're saying like, yes, it's really, really good, but it's not exceptional. That's a harder thing to get to. And I think, truthfully, I rated C923 too low in my initial video. I think C923 should have been like an 87, 86, 87 kind of whiskey. An 85, which is what I rated it. Not that I'm not losing sleep over it, but I think it probably should have been a point or two higher. So anyways, let's go back to this. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a youthful, it's a little yeasty grain note to it, actually. So it displays some youth, even though it does have some root beer, which feels older. the late palate into the start of the finish, that's the best part of this whiskey. It's where all of the root beer comes together, and there's this additional sweetness that kind of like swoops in at the last minute as you get into the finish that makes the root beer feel like a root beer float. And that moment is the special moment of the whiskey, or not special, but the best moment of the whiskey. Yeah, because of that one moment, front is spicy, it's tingly, it's peppery, it's totally normal. Root beer, it's getting a little bit richer and thicker, a little more molassesy, kind of like syrupy oak. Right now, it's hitting me. That root beer float is swooping in. It's a little disjunct in that way, that it kind of has that development where it's like average, it's fine, gets a little darker, and then suddenly all this sweetness at the end. It's weird. I'm gonna go 79. I'm gonna go 79. I think this is a 79. Tastes like an MGP product to me. Listen, I could make a guess, but the point is not to make a guess on this. What do you guys think? Before I turn this over, is there any reason for me to make a guess? I'd say 79, based on what I just had. On any given day, I could see this from 77 to 79. But I'm going to go 79 today. I would say this is the Remus Experimental. That's what it reminds me of. So, there you go. So, yeah. I think this is a good whiskey. I just don't think there's anything special about it until you get to that last moment in the finish, which is not like, yeah, I know, Slad. It's like, I listen, I know. Rigged. Yeah, it's kind of what I said about it the first time, except for that moment in the finish. I didn't pick that up the first time I tasted it. But it's good. 79. All right. Let's do a blind flight now. I swear to God, Mr. Anderson, like, listen, you guys saw this whole exchange. I swear. You need samples from 2023. That's funny, Frankie. I thought about like how interesting it would be to throw in just like 2 or 3 spoilers in the mix to see what happens with those. Okay. What are we doing now? We're doing blind flight. I got to get to these freaking super chats. And I think I missed some throughout that. Alan Mack. Eden. Okay, hang on. I got to go back up. Eden Fine. Thank you for the super chat. Got you in for 2. Picked up the... Oh, wow. You got it for the right price. The old Fitz. There you go. That, to me, that is the correct price. So I guess you just got to go to Costco, guys. Alan Mack, thank you. We got 2 entries. Appreciate it. All right. Scott in for 2. For the tacos, just tempting. Oh, no, don't tempt me. I got to go eat the chicken after this, man. Wait, hang on. The envelope codes give away what's in the envelope. Why not just use 1, 2, 3 or no, they don't give anything away. My wife wrote those. My wife wrote those and put those in a spreadsheet completely separate from me. So no, like Morgan, 100%. Here's a deal. Like, yeah, I have I know I have good recall of things like this. For some reason, taste memory for me is strong. And that's not something I ever knew in my life until I started doing whiskey. So yes, it is. There's a narrowing in my mind, and it's not even intentional. But when I do those in videos, I'm not trying to guess. And today, like when I said root beer, I know immediately when I smelled the Remus, I knew immediately that was an MGP product. I didn't know which MGP product, and I wasn't trying to think of it. As I kept going through it and kept, talking about it, drilling down on the rating, that's more when I started to think about like what it could be. But I'm legitimately, what I've learned from doing this is that if you do think that you know the right answer and you rate based on that, you're screwing yourself. And I've had enough moments where I thought I had the right answer. I did that, and then I'm wrong. And then I'm like, well, I literally made that guess only because I thought I knew what it was. So I think I have enough experience now at this point to know not to do that. Like, not to base my opinion on a whiskey on what I think it is. If I want to make a guess, I'm making the guess knowing that I'm making the guess with no... I'm not going to be upset if I'm wrong about the guess. I have no attachment to the guess that I'm going to make. Whereas if I go into a flight and say, I'm trying to do this to guess the whiskey, I'm in a very different mindset when I'm doing that. So I've tried to like separate my mindsets of rating and assessing whiskey versus trying to guess the whiskey. That has taken me many years to get to that point of not trying to be a know-it-all and guess it and base my entire perception of the whiskey on what I think it is. See ya, Adam. I'm reading the chat. I'm just laughing, guys. Everyday reviews and rants. No, I got you. You're totally in here. I'm looking at it right now. 2 entries. I have a screen here, and I have my computer screen down here, and my computer screen right now is a full screen of the tracker that I'm using, and I'm looking at you right here. I promise I put it in there. All right. Wow. That was fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. Let's do a blind flight now. Sarah wrote these cards, which is awesome. Grant, are you still here? Excuse me. It's rigged. It's rigged, I tell you. Okay, so I'm scrolling through the chat right now. Guy said spot on. So of all the people in the chat, Guy sent me that bottle of the Remus. Number one, thank you again, Guy, for sending that. But Guy remembers my first impressions of that bottle, I think. And I think most of what I just said was pretty in line with what my first impressions of that were, besides the thing about the finish. I don't think I said that the first time. Brett sighting, says Jeb. Trying to scroll up in the chat real quick and find something. Sorry, guys. Just give me a sec. See if I can actually find what I'm looking for. It's crazy how... You know what's funny is when I think back to the first live stream I ever did on this channel, and there were like a handful of chat messages, and you're really, really trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. You know what I mean? And keep it going by yourself. All right, anyways. Grant, let me know if you're still here, man. I'm going to do this blind now. It says focus on the source of the whiskey. So I was going to ask you, what do you want me to guess? Like, do you want me to make guesses on everything, like proof, and like, do you want me to do bottle guesses? What's the point of this blind? I don't mean that disrespectfully. Like, what is the goal of the blind? Just to try to name the source? Spread these all out here. All right, B. A, B, So from your left to right is ABCD, guys. What is this? Okay. All right, I can do this like Matt Madness training if you guys want. Last question for Grant. Are these the samples you sent me, Grant? Because I had 2 sets of ABCD on the table in there, and they were kind of close together. And between your flight and the flight Marshall sent me, are these the samples you sent? They're 2-ounce bottles with 2 of them have masking tape labels, and 2 of them have things that appear to be labels. Handwriting is... Right, the handwriting's kind of inconsistent. There's like a rounder handwriting and a sharper handwriting. Yeah, source, but a ranking would be good. So I'll do rankings, and then I'll venture about... these are it? Okay, good. I'll do a bottle guess at the end, too, I'll guess stats just for fun, but I'll pay more attention to the source and the ranking as we go. So this blind, guys, it's called the Unconfirmed Sources Blind. Okay. Colin says bottom shelf flight. I need to do some bottom shelf flights, dude, because I know that I guarantee you my round of Matt Madness, Matt's throwing in bottom shelf stuff. Because he's been saying that he's going to do that. I need to do that. I need some... maybe I can ask like someone on the Patreon, hey, who wants to send a bottom shelf flight, you know? All right. Let's do this. Again, please no spoilers in the chat as I go through this. This is going to be a great time for me to catch up on Super Chats finally on Venmo, because I'm going to be taking my time with this flight. Let me grab a notebook. Okay. Guys, thank you for being here. 154 people still hanging out. Very, very cool. This is June 5. Unconfirmed. Sources. Blind. A, B, C, D. All right. So, yeah, no spoilers in the chat, please. I'm going to pull up the Venmo. I don't want to have to not look at chat because I want to be able to engage and interact. So please don't do any spoilers. If someone does a spoiler in the chat and a mod deletes it, that doesn't matter because I'm seeing StreamYard chat, which if you delete it in YouTube, I still see it in StreamYard. So a spoiler would be devastating. Let's just put it that way. So if I show you Elijah Craig as an answer that I'm tasting at the time, don't start talking about Elijah Craig. Don't start talking about Heaven Hill. Don't say, man, you have a really nutty whiskey in your glass. Don't say anything like that, please. You can say it's Malort. You're allowed to say that. And you're allowed to say it's Fireball. Actually, you're not. Nobody say anything about Fireball, or I'll time you out. All right, let's go to the Drums and Drams Venmo and start grabbing these super chats and say thank you to people from 2 hours ago. I'm sorry. So, let's see here. Okay, cool. Justin, did you get my super chat? I'm sure I did, man. I'm sure I did. I'm just not getting into these. Where'd you send it? Venmo or PayPal? Mike, I didn't mean to put that on the screen. All right, let's go to Glass A. Let me show you guys what's in Glass A here. All right. buff turkey. I can already tell you. I know this is unconfirmed sources blind, so if this is unconfirmed sources and this smells like this, then I can literally tell you the bottle right now. Let me take one sip of this and I'll tell you the bottle. I don't even need. It's buff turkey. It is buff turkey. And because unconfirmed sources is the title of the blind, that's the only other clue I need. Let me take one sip. Actually, before I take a sip, predict them 15. All right, let me take a sip now. That sounds about right. I'll come back to it, though. I will come back to it. That will be my guess, though. Justin says it was on YouTube. Justin, I don't feel like I saw a YouTube super chat from you, man. I didn't see it pop up on the screen. Did anybody else? See, like I'm scrolling back now, Justin. Is starred? Oh, all the starred ones are all the super chats. This is nice. So I can actually just isolate the super chats. I never knew I could do this. Oh, this is so convenient. Justin, man, I really don't think I got your super chat. Sometimes it doesn't go through for people. Yeah, it's not in here, man. Not on YouTube, at least. Oh, like 5 minutes ago. Oh, hold on. Let me go back up. Oh, shoot. I thought you were saying, sorry, I see it now, but I thought earlier you said something about it, and it was much earlier. So I scrolled all the way back. That's why. Hope you enjoy the flag grant I put together. Should be fun. Sorry, man. Total confusion on my end. Thank you, dude. Got you in for 2. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I think I just headshotted the first bottle, but we'll find out. But besides that, the first bottle to me, I'm focusing just on source. That is 100 bajillion% buff turkey. Whatever's in glass 1, I would stake a lot of money on that. Let's go to glass 2 or glass B. So here's what's in B. Oh, this is a different. This is a real different kind of thing going on here. Wow. What is going on? Okay, this is the strangest thing on the nose all night. It's got this like very interesting earthiness to it. So it reminds me of MGP. It's so earthy and chocolatey, but herbal too. What is this? Oh, that is awesome. Wow. What in God's name is that? Wow, that is just chocolate. Dude, that's a Goosebumps whiskey, huh? Glass B is really good. Holy shit. Okay, let me get to these super chats now. Easton from 920, 2 hours ago. Sorry, Easton, I got you in for 2 with the drum emoji. Jesse, in for 2 entries, says countertops. Thank you, Jesse. You know we need those countertops. Chris H is in for 2 also, says June 5th stream. Thank you, Chris. Got you in. And Larry Batterson, also in for 2, says bangers. Justin Carpenter, got you in for 3, $15 super chat. Can't wait to crack Cafe Cadence and Simpletown on vacation this week. Hope you enjoy them, man. Actually, those are really good vacation pours. If I'm not a morning drinker ever, but if I were a morning drinker, Cafe Cadence would be my morning sip. Simpletown seems more like, later in the day. Maybe outdoors, actually. Jason Zell, $100 super chat, dude. Thank you, Jason. Jesus. 20 entries. I got you. Says, cheers, Cam. Can't wait for America Juice. I hope you like it. It's, you know, you can taste the Beam DNA in there, but there's something different along the way from the double oaking. So be curious to, you know, hear what people think about it. Let's do one more. Andrew H. in for 4 with a little whiskey emoji. Thank you, man. All right, we'll come back. Justin Van D is going to be next. I got to revisit Glass B real quick. Matt Cochran, come on. All right, yeah, so Glass B to me, if I'm thinking about source, when I first smell this, there's something about this that's MGP to me, you know? I don't know why I keep thinking Nashville Barrel Company. I know that's not the source, that's the bottler. For some reason, I'm smelling and tasting B, and I'm reminded of Nashville Barrel Company products. I don't know why I'm saying that. Dude. All right, one more. Nah, man, that's Heaven Hill. Right? That is so fucking... Sorry. F word. That's so good. It's Heaven Hill or Beam. I mean, it's one of the two. It tastes more like Heaven Hill to me. When I first get the oakiness and a little bit of the nuttiness that's in Glass B, my mind goes to Heaven Hill. The longer it goes on my palate, it makes me feel like it's Beam. So that's confusing. Beam to me has sharper edges than Heaven Hill. When you have like spice, when you have cinnamon spice in a Beam profile, and the most extreme example of this is Booker's, right? When you have spice and a Beam profile, it's a very angular, intense, prickly, peppery spice that you get on your tongue. When you have a lot of spice on a Heaven Hill profile, it's a little sweeter. It's spice, but it's a little rounder on that. So when this first hits me and I get all that oak and that very classic Kentucky caramel oak molasses aged whiskey thing, I think Heaven Hill. As it keeps going, the spice builds and the spice is extremely prickly. So then I'm like, that's kind of like a Beam spice. So for me, it's like if I'm trying to guess the source of this whiskey, is very tough. But I think it would be, I'd feel confident saying that it's at least one of those two, Heaven Hill or Beam. Oh my God, Austin. I'm leaning more towards Beam now. Second sip, I think that's Beam. I think that's probably 15-year-old Beam. I think that's probably 15-year-old mystery mash Beam, 78.5 mash bill, 78.5. Your guess is as good as mine on where the source is, but I'm going to just stick with that on Glass B. I like that a lot. I like that more than Glass A, easy. Yeah, I mean, not close. Okay, Glass C. Let me show you guys Glass C. There you go. Oh, man, what is that? So sweet. All right, so that's what was in C. What is this? This has this intense buttercream thing. Oh, what's up, David Jennings? Sipping Generations tonight. I need to get a bottle of Generations. I need to get one of those. And I need to get a CNF, too. All right. Yeah, man, Glass C is so so buttercream sweet to me. Whoa. I wasn't ready for whatever that was just now. I was not ready for that. That almost has like a maker's... Okay. Hang on. Thinking about source. It's not... I mean, Makers isn't sourcing things out, so... That tastes like Green River. Tastes like OZ Tyler. Right? Because it's got that buttercream thing. This one is heavy on that note, though. I don't know what else that could be. I mean, if I'm thinking purely on source, not what the bottle is, I don't have any idea what else that could be besides OZ Tyler stuff. The more you sip this, the more you get used to that, and it's less jarring. But coming off of like a really oaky, like seemingly older bourbon, probably 15 years old, probably Beam Mystery Mash, from Glass B, coming to this is like, it's a total paradigm shift. I think that's Green River. OZ Tyler. I don't know what it is, though. I mean, that could be a lot of things. Like, Short Barrel sources it, but they say what it is. Could be like a Bender stash. Could be like a Bender stash. What else? I don't know. But I think it's OZ Tyler. Let's keep going. Okay. All right, Glass D. Ooh. Hang on, let me put this down. What am I knocking over? All right, it's that. All right, Glass D. This one is, this is confusing. Let me know if you guys can see this. This is very like chocolatey. It's like, this is chocolate wafer on the nose. Maybe some dark fruit too, but chocolate wafer is the primary thing. Huh. I have no idea what's going on with that. No, I have no idea what I just tasted. It had a weird fall off on the palate. Felt like it was going to be way spicier and way more of a roller coaster ride with intensity and all that, but the chocolate is what's getting me, you know? Oh, geez. I feel like I'm out of Kentucky now. I don't know. This is the toughest one of the flight for me. This is the one that I just have zero ideas for. But it also feels kind of like high rye. Like there's so much spice here, even though the finish is shorter. Yeah, what is this? That chocolatiness, that takes me south for some reason. That's the wild card. All right, I'm gonna go back down the line and nose these. Wow, that's got to be green. OZ Tyler stands out like a sore thumb. My favorite of all of these is B, easily. My least favorite is probably A. A or C. D is up there. Anthony says, when you go on barrel picks, do they let you take a sample from the barrel to take home? Yes. Yeah, usually, I mean, I don't feel like I've been to a place where they've said no. So, yeah, I always get a sample to take home. And if they don't automatically offer it, then I just always ask and say, hey, listen, I got to write tasting notes, you know. But I also bring my own sample bottles just in case. All right, let's grab a few more super chats here. Justin Van D, let's see. In for 4, thank you, man. This is 4 giveaway entries. Appreciate it, Justin. Jared Lee, in for 4 as well. Thanks, Jared. All right, Ed Engelman. This is the thing that this is what Ed posted earlier. It looked like a copy-paste of a payment. So he entered for 2, and he said, bringing bourbon prices down, supporting smaller distilleries. And then he lists them. It says Black Frost, which looks like it's in New Ulm, Minnesota. And then he said Driftless Glen in Baraboo, Wisconsin. So, yeah, those are... I don't know Black Frost, but obviously Driftless Glen we've done picks with. And absolutely they keep the prices down. It's awesome. Thank you, Ed. Guy with a massive freaking super chat. Thank you, Guy. And thank you for the Remus, man, for making tonight's rigged blind possible. Guy with 20 entries says, cheers, man. Cheers right back to you, Guy. Man. Matt Thomas, in for 2. Says, Jazzercise Fund. Drop those pounds while moving and grooving. Matt, you don't want to see me jazzercise, dude. I've been to one jazzercise class, like, I think I was in college, and I don't remember why I went. I'm trying to think of why I went. I know someone's going to say, you did it on your own accord. But I've done one jazzercise thing, I do believe. Daniel Hooper, in for 10 entries, $50 super chat. Thank you. Says, hopefully a belated birthday present for me. All right, fingers crossed, man. On the old Buckners. Marshall, what's up, Marshall? Is in for 3, says cheers. Cheers right back to you, Marshall. And Mr. Daniel Patterson, 10 entries. Thank you, man. Says, cheers, dude. Spicy Gal's my favorite bottle in a long time. Thanks for picking that banger. Now spin it 7 times and give me. All right, man. I'm glad you like it, Daniel. All right, 2 more, guys. Nicholas B, in for 2, says, love the streams. Thank you. Although I don't know how. And Lowell Schrock, in for a couple more here with 4 entries, with a little bottle or a robot emoji and present emoji. Okay. So I'm about 10 super chats away from being caught up there. Is thank you for the Remus a euphemism, says Junior. Oh, my God. All right. Let's finish this flight up then. Didn't Russell's 15 release to Wisconsin earlier than Kentucky? Yes, it did, because I got mine from a friend in Wisconsin pretty early on. Is JD Batch 2 a good trade for Batch 3? Talking about 12-year. The Batch 3 is the better between those two, in my opinion. So Batch 3, whatever side of that you're on, if you're getting the Batch 3, I think you're doing the best. All right. So once over here, I'll stand by the fact that this is Predictum, Glass A. But more importantly, I would stand by the fact that this is Buff Turkey. Immediately when you smell this, that is absolutely Buff Turkey. That is not close. The proof lines up for me as well for Predictum, which is 112. It all makes sense. Glass B. Oh, shoot. What did I say this was? The one I thought might have been Beam 15-year mystery mash. Yeah, but the proof is really high on that. Compared to Glass A. But I still think that's Beam. It could be Heaven Hill. I don't know, man. With the proof being that high, but I don't want to think about proof as a way to try to guess the source. That is the wrong answer, I think. I might have to change my guess on that, man. I might have to call that Heaven Hill. I think the prickly spice I talked about earlier as seeming more beam-like could just be the proof here being so high, because that feels like it's 130 proof or higher. In which case I could see it being like a Willet Purple Top or something. Like a sourced Willet Purple Top, maybe. I don't know. But I'll come back to that. Glass 3 or C. I have no other guess than OZ Tyler / Green River on C. It's a lower proof than B for sure. Let me take a sip of water. Rare Bird, agree the Predictum is buff turkey. Yeah, it is. It's got to be. All right, on to D again and see. We'll see if man, this does not ring any bells. Glass D does not ring any bells on the source. Like, is it finished? Is it stout finished? Why is it so chocolatey? I'll show you again. Glass D. I don't know. Ugh. I have no idea what that is. Grant, you're tricking me, man. You and Justin are tricking me right now on that one. I got to go back to B. After tasting that, which is so chocolatey, maybe that's going to help me figure out whether I think B is Beam or Heaven Hill. All right. One more time on B. I mean, the proof is so high on B. Shit. I got to stop being boring now. All right. Right back to being boring. One more sip of B. I will remind you now of what is in this glass. Hang on. Did I hit a button? No. Okay. The thing is, right now, tinge of grassiness in the finish. I'm going to stick with Beam. The proof, like, I think this could be sourced mystery mash beam. Do I think it's 15 years old now? I don't think it's 15 years old anymore. I don't. It could be, but the proof, I don't feel like there was any 15-year mystery mash beam that came out where the proof was this high. So I still think it could be beam. It could be Heaven Hill, but there's this grassiness that I don't typically get on Heaven Hill products. I do get it on beam products. All right. D is, and I should, let me guess some stats here. So A, I've already said bottle guess predictum. C, I thought was Green River. C's proof feels low, like 108. All right. Glass D. I gotta guess proof. Maybe age on this too. I don't know. All right, so Hooper is drinking Evernorth DD3 right now. It's better than he remembers. Good. I'm glad you like it. Glass D is so confusing because of the chocolate notes. All right. Frankie says, when are you on Matt Madness? Well, originally I was going to be on June 20th, which is basically 2 weeks away. But it sounds like we have to bump it, so I don't think I'll be on until... I think July 11th is the first time I could be on. Yeah, I don't know. Joe. All right, I'm going to stick with my gut. I'm going to say D is from MGP. I think D, but why would it be unconfirmed? Why would the source be unconfirmed if it's from MGP? That's an easy confirmation. But D has this high rye thing about it. I don't feel great about that guess. No, I don't feel great about that, but I'm going to say MGP. Green River. Beam. Buff Turkey. My ranking for these is... Nah, man. B, D, C, A. So I'm going to reveal those in the opposite order. I guess I need to finish my stats guesses on these. Okay. Okay. I got that. Glass C. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. We are good to go. We are good to go. So let's start with Glass A, which is my least favorite. I think this is Predictum. But more importantly, I think this is Buff Turkey at 15 years old. 112 proof. There you go. I feel very, very, very good about this guess. And I feel very good about the fact that this is Buff Turkey. When I first smelled it, it was like 100. You saw it. I smelled it and I'm like, that's Buff Turkey. That is Buff Turkey. Okay. Next up, Glass C. I said it's 120 proof, 7-year OZ Tyler / Green River. Interesting. So it's EJ Curley. Now, they were rumored to be sourcing from Turkey when they started. That was the rumor. I have not heard much of anything from EJ Curley like since they started. They actually dropped off. One of the owners, I think, or founders, is local or was local, and he dropped off a bottle. It was like a half full bottle of one of their single barrels. I still have it in my basement. This does not smell at all like what I remember that bottle smelling like. This smells like Green River. But if it's Turkey, then I guess I could see it. But there's this creamy note to that doesn't track for Turkey. Like in this blind, I was pretty confident that the buttercream note in that was Green River or OZ Tyler. You know what? Guys, I have to satisfy my curiosity right now. Yeah. Let me finish out the rest of this flight, like with the reveals. I have to run to my basement. I have to find this bottle of Curly, and I have to taste it next to this, because this does not remind me, to memory, 2, 3, 4 or 5 years ago, does not remind me of that bottle, but we'll see. All right. Glass D. This one's tough. I said MGP, but there's no reason that MGP should be an unconfirmed source of a blind. I said it was a 111 proof. And I also said it was 10 years old. There's no way this is MGP. Smelling it right now. If I had to redo my guess, I'm going to say Willet. I'm going to say it's an 8-year Hirsch. But I'll just go with my original guess. I don't know. What is this? Oh, shit. That's where the chocolate comes from. So it's Michter's Fort Nelson Reserve. It is bourbon. 109.2. I said 111. I said 10 years old. God only knows how old this stuff is. That's why this is confusing, because I legitimately do not know where this is from. If it's their own distillate or someone else's, I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. Last but not least, Oh, this was a tough one. I said 130 proof. I thought at first it was 15-year Beam Mystery Mash. Could be Heaven Hill. I stuck with Beam, and then I said it was 10 years old, but still the Mystery Mash. 130 proof. Listen, I actually think I'm right. We will never know because preservation doesn't say anything. 128.2, I said 130. I said 10 years old. It's 10 years old. Kentucky bourbon. The stuff that's floating around right now is around this proof point, and it's Mystery Mash Beam. I don't know when this was, bottled, when it was purchased, so maybe it doesn't track. But if it's within the last year, this absolutely could be Beam. It could be Heaven Hill. It could. But I think this is Beam. But it's my favorite of the bunch. Yeah, man. I think that's Beam. I really do. All right, Grant says it's within the last year. Yeah, I think it's Beam. Is it similar to your upcoming Beam picks? Let me check. Actually, let me check. Before I check, I haven't done this in a long time on a stream. I gotta go take a leak. I'm sorry. I'll be back. Give me 90 seconds. Yeah. All right. Start your timers. 90 seconds. Here we go. Time. I said time, but the mic was muted. But I said time. All right, 90 seconds. Nailed it. Adam, what do you do now? You talk amongst yourselves. That's what you do. That was a good pee, though. I'll tell you what. All right. Commercial break. Tell Sarah to fill in. Austin, what else? Did I miss anything? I missed Joe Kitely. Joe, I'm sorry, man. I was probably just like totally in my head when you sent this. Let me get the super chat. Joe, in for 4, says, which YouTube live concert are you throwing on when you're drunk? I was chatting with buddies tonight, and it seems to be a thing we like doing. My recent obsession has been Alice in Chains MTV Unplugged. I enjoy the grunge. So, it's been a while since I've done this, actually. God, this is gonna... Is it shameful? I love Slipknot, number one, so, like, I'll turn on, like, old Slipknot concerts. But the other one is Avenged Sevenfold, dude. So back back in like the City of Evil days, City of Evil to me is one of the greatest albums of all time. Like, I truly believe that. So I'll go back and watch City of Evil, shows from those days. Like, what is that, like 2006 maybe? And I saw Avenged Sevenfold, I think it was 2 years ago now, here in Columbus. Was it last year, actually? Let me see. It was the new album they did. It was last year. Yeah, it was last March. I saw Avenged Sevenfold here. It was March because Sarah and I went and saw Jordan Peterson. He was at Nationwide Arena, so we saw him speak. And we saw Avenged Sevenfold, also in Nationwide Arena, within the same month. I thought that was kind of funny. But Avenged Sevenfold's new album, which is love or hate for some people, I love it. As a music nerd, I think it's great. But I was always a big Avenged Sevenfold fan. That Sidewinder solo, yeah, man. Sidewinder is an underrated track, though. And listen, M Shadows live, very, very good. The whole, it was amazing. Sinister Gates was sick at the show, so they had like a puke bucket out for him, and he was in really rough shape, and he still made it through the entire concert, which was great. Andrew says, saw the Cavalon behind you, reminded me to ask if you tried the Moscatel. Oh my God. I didn't know they had a Moscatel cask strength. That sounds right up my alley, man. Holy crap. No, I have not tried that, but I can only imagine. Yeah, Joe. Yeah. What's up, Mike? What else? What else did I miss? Love City of Evil. Dude, City of Evil is like all-time record for me. I really think so. Oh no. David Jennings, listen, not to get too political or too religious for anybody, but the recent video which was first labeled one Christian versus 20 atheists or whatever, and then they renamed it Jordan Peterson versus 20 atheists. That was like a very bad showing for him. It was just word games, and it was not good. Not good. But I think there's a lot, I think he has a lot to offer. But he's also human, and I think he falls prey to the same trappings that we all do. And I can't imagine from his point of view in that situation what that must be like, but I think you're right. But I think like I listen to a lot of different people, and most of those people aren't going around and speaking in like arenas, that's a very anomalous thing to have happen. And if any of them did go around to do that, I would go see them speak. So I think it's rare that someone like that is on a tour as like an intellectual to speak. And I think it's a cool opportunity to go see them. And whether or not you agree with all of it, you shouldn't agree with all of anything that anybody says, but yeah, it was a good experience, But 100%, the lectures are much better than the debates. Scott says, damn, A7X, bringing back the memories of road trip from Georgia to Canada. Actually stopped in Ohio to go to Cedar Point. Yeah, man. All right. Well, what time is it? It's midnight on the dot. So let's say this. I have to check PayPal now just to make sure I've got all the super chats in. But I think as far as Venmo goes, I think I'm close. Yeah, I'm close. I have a few more on Venmo to get to. And then I'll check PayPal to knock it out. Let's say that the giveaway closes at 12:05 Eastern Time. Let's say that. Mr. Anderson, I never listened to them. Never listened to them. All right. Everybody wants you to sign up for something else. Cool. So we got 2 super chats here in PayPal. One is from Jeffrey Smith. Thank you, man. And for 4 entries. Okay. And then we have Abraham Rodriguez, also in for 1 entry. All right. Thank you, guys. So that was in the that was in my personal PayPal. So let me check the Drums and Drams PayPal. Drums and Drams LLC, which is hilarious to me. Oh, wow. There's quite a few, actually. Oh, just 2. Morgan, holy crap. Morgan with 20 entries says, bound to win one of these eventually. Hopefully it says, holy crap. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. That's a $100 super chat. And Chris Coleman is in for 3 entries. Good Lord. Thank you, guys. And says, Buckner's with finger crossed emoji. All right. So we got those. Got to open up to some punk rock. Yeah, man. I mean, I have nothing against punk rock. I literally never listened to them. That's it. How does it compare to your Beam? That's right. We were going to do that. So, that's the very old St. Nick. Well, we have 5 beam barrels that we've picked from River Roots. So, which one do I choose? Okay. All right. All right, so we are wrapping the giveaway in like basically a minute. Yeah, basically 1 minute. All right, so this is one of the 5 beams that we've picked from River Roots that are going to be coming out. Wow. So now, do I think that the very old St. Nick is beam? Well, Grant, are you still here, man? Or Justin? So, Grant, this very old St. Nick, is this one of the very old St. Nicks that says something about Bardstown on the label? Like, does this say distilled in Bardstown or straight out of Bardstown, or like, I don't know I don't know the different varieties of labels that they use, but I know some of them say straight out of Bardstown. Is there any reference to Bardstown on this label for the very old St. Nick? Because if it says, oh, it's straight out of Bardstown, now, then the question is like, does that mean it was distilled in Bardstown? Because if so, it's Heaven Hill. Or does it just mean it was bottled in Bardstown, which is where preservation is? Yeah, it might be Heaven Hill. It might be. It's super close to these beams. These mystery mash beams, it's so close. I have one here that's 135 proof, and I have another that's 129. And it's so damn close. But if you told me it's Heaven Hill, I would believe you. I gotta see how they all drink now. All right, giveaway is cut off. It tastes like beam. It really does. It's good though. Like, how much was this bottle? That's the most important question. What did you pay for this bottle? Does not say distilled in. Yeah. They love that. They love to let it be ambiguous. Oh, $300. Man, it's not $300 whiskey. Yeah. That's 150 whiskey. Yeah, it's 150 whiskey. Listen, it drinks, these other two I know are beam. That drinks rounder and richer. I think it could be Heaven Hill. Yeah, Travis, I got you, man. I think it's Heaven Hill, guys. I think it's Heaven Hill. I think I was wrong in the blind, but, you know, it's unconfirmed. I would, now after comparing it to these, I would say that's probably Heaven Hill. And I think they have a good relationship with Heaven Hill because they get like older Heaven Hill stocks there. The Curly, though, the EJ Curly. Dude, come on. It's got to be OZ Tyler. All right, I'm going to leave the room one more time to go get that EJ Curly bottle from the basement, and then we will spin for the giveaway, because I have to compare my EJ Curly single barrel to this sample. I have to. If I don't do it now, I'll never do it. So I'll be back in like, give me 90 seconds. All right. Did you wash your hands this time? All right. So this is single barrel number 21 from E.J. Curley. At this point, this has to be like 4 years old, 5 years old. The initial rumor I heard about this brand is that they were sourcing from Wild Turkey. This is 121.5 proof. The other one here is 125 proof, 125.86. All right, so I was low on proof on my guess. Let's see here. And listen, brands can change sourcing over time, 100%, 100%. And they're single barrels. Nah, man, no. They're not close. When I first smelled and tasted this E.J. Curley, I heard it was Wild Turkey, whenever that was, 4 years ago. I believed it, and I still believe it. I smell this. This smells exactly like Wild Turkey. Yeah. If this is not Wild Turkey, then it feels like it's sourced from Bullet. And at that time, Bullet's distillate would have been like 3 years old, so it would have been like sourced stuff that Bullet had. But that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like the turkey spice, which some Bullet also has, even if it's not their own distillate. But I would believe this is turkey. Then you go to this current one. It could not be more different. It just smells like creamy, like buttercream, blueberry pancakes. It smells just like Green River. I would place a $5,000 bet that is Green River / OZ Tyler distillate. $5,000 I would put on that. Like, if someone wants to take that bet, I will take that bet. And this, I won't bet on where it came from, but I would say I would believe that it's turkey. Yeah. But they're completely different, so they've changed sourcing. For me, though, the moral of the well, try to say that after a couple of drinks. The moral of the story is that these are just, there's no way these are from the same place. It's not possible. Ron, OZ's dead. It's just green. But Ron, what's up, dude? You're the fucking man. But the barrelheads say OZ, so I mean, what am I gonna do? I go to the Bourbon Junkies last week and I see OZ on the barrelheads and it's like, I'm going to call that OZ, right? But yes, it's Green River. But also, E.J. Curley. Ron, you're the guy to ask. Can you either confirm or I don't even want to say deny. Can you just confirm for me that this E.J. Curley single barrel is from you guys? Yeah. Wow, Jinx, you fucking savages. Austin and Joe. Yeah, that's Ron from Bardstown. No comment, says Ron. Let's go. It's Green River, everybody. And we can move on now. It is not an unconfirmed source anymore. He also said, frankly, I don't know, but we're going to ignore that. Somebody delete that comment. Let's just roll with his initial answer. Also, thank you, Ron, for the short barrel from Bardstown. I love you. And I'm going to send you the short barrel 100% Green River rye that we picked from River Roots. That is going to be dropping July 18th. I'll send you that once it comes out. Okay. Hooper says, no comment is the quote of the night. Yes, it is. And also, EJ Curley changed their sourcing. 100%. Okay. Dude, the 100% ryes are amazing. Very, very slept on. And you would never guess that they have that mash bill when you taste them. All right, so let's do the giveaway, guys. I got to get the remaining super chats in here. Okay. Grant says, any Brown Foreman on the Fort Nelson? No. Not really. If you told me it was double-barreled, like, yeah, still. I know the rumor is that Michter's is Brown Foreman, and that's probably true for some of their stuff. But for this barrel, like, I just don't know, man. I don't know. Hey, guys, Ron Miles is he's the fucking shit. Wait, what just happened on the screen? All right. Ron Miles is the fucking shit at Bardstown and Green River. Ron is the reason we have Ron's the reason we have a Green River and a Bardstown pick. Man. Colin, last minute entry. No! We're closed for business. I will include you. Colin. But we're closed for business. But thank you, Colin. Appreciate it. Hey, yeah, Ron, can you give us any information on the drop date for Discovery 13? Anything. Month, season, year, anything. Ron, what can you tell us about Discovery 13? Damn it, Colin. Okay. No more super chats, guys. I love you, but help me help you. No more. All right. Personal Venmo. After Brett's super chat, which was, that's the last one I got. All right. Russ jumped in for 4 entries. I got you, Russ. Thank you, ma'am. And now back to the business Venmo we go. Ron went to bed. Yeah, Ron dipped out at the right time. When faced with questions that Ron should not legally answer, he dipped. And that is the correct move. And we all applaud Ron for that move. And we also acknowledge simultaneously that Ron is the fucking man. Because sometimes questions do not deserve answers. And Ron, of all people, knows this. All right. So we are good on the PayPal front here. Yes, Adam, I'm talking slow now, and you know why. You know why I am talking slow. It has been a very long evening. All right. We got that. I think we have all the PayPals out of the way. And I mean that lovingly. So let's grab Andrew. Andrew, on which platform DM? Like Facebook, Instagram, Discord. What are you talking? All right. PayPal is done, and we have just business Venmo to go now. And we can start that at... where'd we leave off on this? Discord, okay. We got Nick, we got Lil Schrock. Got Lil Schrock, and then we did not get Jeremy. All right. So we have to get all these super chats now. So let me do this, guys, rapid fire. Mr. Slad. Jeremy, did you super chat earlier in... Jeremy, did you super chat earlier in the feed in YouTube? I just want to make sure. All right. Jeremy with 4 entries says, am I doing this right? You did it right. At 9:49, you did. All right, cool. All right, Andrew Parrott in for 4 says, cheers, wasn't a fan of the Preet Liquor Buckner's 15, but I'm sure yours are fire. We did our best. You know, we did our best. I think we came out with 2 really good barrels. Adam in for 2. Gotcha, Adam H. Avery also in for 2. Says, thanks, Cam, for everything. Great picks lately. Here's $10 to help with your with your gem membership. Thank you, Avery. I'm not mad. You are correct. Alan Maloney. God. Alan Maloney in for 2 says 2 for he says 2, please. Dos, por favor. Avery, you grilled me, dude. You grilled me in the most subtle way. Bobby Holton in for 1 says sent 2 to the wrong one again. I swear I'll learn. It's all good, bro. All right, Lito is in for 12. $60 super chat. Math is hard. Says, got to support the Pick Travel Fund. Cheers. Thank you, man. I got you in here. Dustin Martin is in for 2. Thank you, Dustin. Justin Biggs is in for 1. Thank you, Justin. We're almost there. Mr. Samuel Thorner is in for 10. Holy crap. Good luck with the new house. Thank you, man. Thanks, Sam. Thank Mr. Votzek. All right. Lawrence Chang in for 1 says petition to change your Discord handle to Ellen Degeneracy. Honestly, we could do that. That's doable. Cody Boatwright, thank you for 2 entries. Manifesting Spicy Gal. Same, dude. Lawrence with another 3 entries says water, drink it, and chicken, eat it. And wait, second to last is Daniel Hooper with 10 entries says DD3 is / was a banger. More bourbon has me thinking gambling / supporting the channel is a good idea. I'm glad it's a good idea. And finally, Colin is jumping in with 5 entries with his fingers crossed, and that's going to do it. All right. Listen, Sam, I'll hit you with a little V for a W, you know? All right. Holy crap, guys. The super chats tonight are crazy. All right. Let's do random.org. We have 4 winners. We have 4 winners tonight. Yep. Randomizer. We will spin this 7 times. No duplicate winners. And wow, geez, 334 entries. 7 times, no duplicate winners, 4 winners. we'll just roll down to the next person. So now let me share my screen with you. All right. So here's everybody from Austin all the way down to Colin. 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can pause here for dramatic effect. Austin says, I think I should have 6. Are you sure? Because we're at 6 right now. I can bounce out of here. I can bounce out of here. Nobody's feelings are hurt. Hang on. Just for my own curiosity. At the top of the stream. 2, 5. Yep. Was there another one? It should be a $5. It should be blue on my screen. Hang on. Ah, you're right. All right, respin. We're at 6. Nobody knows what was going to happen. Here's what we're going to do. It's so dramatic. All right, so there we go. Paste. Enter. Whiskey Rambler. Respin 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Boom. All right. We got Sam. We got Thomas. Sam, Thomas, Alan, and Brett. Austin, probably one of the last one. All right, I'm going to take a picture of this. If anybody doesn't want their prize, which happens actually fairly frequently, I will roll down to the next person. If you want a prize, please remind me by emailing me at drumsanddrams@gmail.com. All right. Sam says, give mine away. Spread the love. So we are rolling. Here's what we'll do. This is going to be confusing. Tom Snyder is the number 1 winner. So hang on. I'll write this down now. Roll down Sam's win to Thomas, who is number 1. And so, already have one, says Sam. It's all good, bro. So, Thomas gets Spicy Gal. Alan is going to get Sugar Daddy. Brett is going to get the sample pack if he wants it. Daniel Hooper is going to get the Bottled and Bond 11-year pick. And if anybody doesn't want their prize, email me, please, at drumsanddrams@gmail.com. So if you won tonight, email me your address and what you won. If you don't want your prize, email me your address. Not your address. Don't do that. Just email me and say, I don't want that. Roll it down, and I'll do that. So thank you, guys. Large. That's funny, bro. All right. Cheers, guys. That's going to do it. Fun stream tonight. We covered a lot of ground. Saturation was awesome earlier. I'm talking slower now because it's a little higher at this point. But listen, we're celebrating. Our house is starting to be built tomorrow. So we're very happy. I'm going to go chug water. And I'm going to go eat some fucking grilled chicken, like Sarah said earlier. Grilled chicken and rice and the sauce that she made for the chicken. So there we go. I also need to get like 5,000 more steps in today. I might go like actually do that and walk around at the little park outside my house right now. Dangerous, but worth it. Cheers, guys.